And you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Mark Scores, The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Good morning, friends. It is a Friday. Let's have a good time today, shall we? Because it is a beautiful day here in St. Louis. And it'll be a cool night at the ballpark tonight. Oh, yeah, more on that a little bit later on. We've got Michael Kelly and John Hancock with us today. Amy Marks Kors is out. The number is 314-436-7900 to join in. You can text. You can call that number. You can also leave voice messages on the Odyssey app.
Wow.
And that app is where you go to listen to the station live. Cardinals baseball is on it live as well, and it's totally free if you put it on your phone. Now, you can watch the show, too, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We are at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everyone will be talking about.
Well, gasoline is up. It continues to rise, and on average, over 9 cents it went up overnight around the country.
Ouch.
Gas prices are up 33 cents in a week. What is the real world and the political cost of that? We will discuss today.
And the Kentucky Derby is tomorrow, and our old friend and former colleague, Scott Jagow, a horse racing enthusiast, is going to join us at 11 o'clock this morning.
Can't wait to talk to Scott. He is the best. And the Cardinals, they finish up a sweep over the Pirates. They come back home for a series against the Dodgers tonight.
The 2-0 pitch. That swung on, and it is hit out of here to right field. A home run opening the game for J.J. Weatherholt. That's the way to get started with the Cardinals going for a sweep in Pittsburgh on this Thursday.
Well, they got it, baby. That's it. A 4-game sweep on the road in Pittsburgh. That's exactly how you're supposed to treat the Pirates.
Yeah, that's great. And we have not played well against the Pirates in recent years. So that was big.
So,
and JJ, how about JJ?
Buddy.
I know.
Do we know what the J's stand for?
Johnson & Johnson?
It's probably exactly what he just said, yeah.
So let me just tell you, this guy looks like a ball player. Obviously, he is one. But, I mean, he reminds me of Mike Trout. I have a feeling this guy is going to be our superstar as he continues to develop. He just looks like pure baseball stud.
He does. I don't think he's going to be Mike Trout.
Well, of course not. There's only one of those,
but I mean, Trout, speaking of a guy who just absolutely got wasted in baseball.
Yep.
Like he just that talent.
Yep.
And he
He's
had
on
to
that
play
team.
for the Angels. One of the one of the best players of our lifetime.
One playoff game.
All of us.
One playoff game in his career.
Absolute travesty. And it's a great reminder that in baseball, one player cannot do it for you. It's not
there's
possible.
just some teams and cities that are cursed. I mean, I don't know that he wouldn't have had a different outcome if he was playing for the Dodgers. You know what I'm saying? And think about our own Albert Pujols when he went out to the Angels. I mean, Albert was the best player in baseball, went to the Angels, kind of evaporated into being the second team out in L.A., didn't get the attention, wasn't doing the way that he did. I just think there's certain teams that just don't have it.
So what's interesting about what's going on now with the Cardinals, there are a number of things that are happening right now. First of all, they are playing pretty good baseball.
Very good baseball.
Yeah. And
aggressive baseball.
They are playing a good style of it, and the results are there as well. They are in third place in the division. They're 5 games over 500, but so far this has been a really strong division. Every team is at least 500. The Pirates are in last, and they are 16-16 on the season. It's the Reds, Cubs, Cardinals, Brewers, and Pittsburgh. That's the order of the standings. So Cardinals are still a third-place team, but, they look good. I mean, not every part of the team does. I mean, they still have some pitching issues.
Yes.
I don't think their starting pitching is particularly strong. Much of the bullpen has been weak. However, they've got a couple of guys out there they definitely can count on. But it's been a fun style of play overall. They're scoring runs. They're playing pretty good defense, and it's a young team.
Yeah, and, one of the things that I think has gotten overlooked, perhaps, is the base running ability of this team. Taking the extra base, stealing a base. knowing the time to take those kinds of actions. Heck, Pedro Pajes has a couple of steals this year. And the team on the base paths has been stellar. And that's coaching.
I'm a season ticket holder, and I was really concerned that it was going to be hard to give my tickets away to clients, et cetera, this year. And knock on wood, to this point, man, people are excited.
Yeah.
They're taking the tickets. I can tell you that even in my own life, in this month and a half of the season so far, I think I've watched more games than I watched the entire season last year.
They're fun.
Yes, they're fun, and you have that anxiousness. We're never safe, right? Even when we're up 5 or 6 runs, you're like, this can get blown. You can tell that it's a young team. A lot of breaks have kind of gone their way. What was it on 2 nights ago? Was that when the guy hit the ball and our left fielder caught it over the fence to save the game?
Yeah, right at the end of the game.
It was. I mean, it's just been entertaining. And if they keep playing like this, that ballpark's going to be full again.
I think that's right. And, I don't like to
Here we go.
talk. But I think it was, who was it? It was me that predicted that this team was going to be much, much better than all the pundits out there said. And here so far,
That's kind of a ridiculous statement because, even if they were 30 games under 500, you'd be like, well, a lot of people thought they were going to be 40 games under 500, Kelly. They're much better than
they're
we thought
5
they were
games
gonna
over
be.
500 1 month into the season. They've got the National League most valuable player on the team, and Jordan Walker, and they've got the National League Rookie of the Year on the team, and this team is going to be great.
He's been on this Jordan Walker for MVP thing since, I don't know, the
'cause he hit
first
a
week
couple
of the
home
season.
runs
Yeah.
there, yeah. Uh-huh.
And I look, I am rooting for Walker just like everybody else is.
How many months?
I'm very
in the season?
encouraged.
6 months in a baseball season.
Yeah, about 6 months.
So 9 home runs in the first month. Let's see, 9 times 6. That's 54 home runs.
Right.
That this fellow's going to hit. I mean, that's
Is that what
it's
you're
impressive.
predicting since you're Mr.
Yeah, I think he's
here?
going to hit 50. He may not get to 54, but I think 50 as well.
Shall we
within-
mark the tape on this?
Yeah, mark the tape.
Please do.
We marked the tape 3 weeks ago when I said
He was going to be the MVP.
Yes, that's what I said.
You also said that, getting rid of the state income tax is going to be great for us. So I just
It
want to
is.
continue to point out ridiculous statements that get made from my pal here.
I'm just telling you. You follow along, folks, because this is it's happening
the
before
starting-
our eyes.
You guys know it better than I do, but the starting pitching seems to have been better than we expected.
Nah, not so much.
But am I the only one who's nervous once we hit the 5th or 6th inning that it's very possible that somebody could put
No.
6 or 7 runs on us in any inning?
No, I do watch most games, 6th, 7th, 8th inning, and that's because starters aren't going especially deep this year in games. So it is the 6th, 7th, and 8th when the bad stuff usually happens.
Yep.
So I'm watching all of those innings thinking, all right, can this get away from them? Because if you get to the 9th, you're in pretty good shape with O'Brien. And so thankfully, this last trip or this last series in Pittsburgh, it they held their own. They did okay there. But you're right, because they're not going deep in games, yeah, that's a little bit of a concern. Now, here's what's interesting. This is a note that was put out by there's a Twitter account called Codify Baseball,
Yeah.
and they do a lot of numbers, and it's a super interesting account. And the percentage of teams or pitchers overall in baseball that were getting into the 7th inning, that were throwing 7th inning starts. Back in 1988, it was 48%.
Yep.
This year, it's at its lowest so far, 9%.
Oh, my.
So starting pitching is just not going very deep. Now, that trend it's been going this way slowly, gradually over the last several decades. But this year, it is worse than ever. It's been 10 years since that number's been over 20%.
Is that because of the velocity, that everybody's so focused on velocity now that the pitchers can't go as deep?
I think that's some of it, probably. I think also it's teams know, based on the numbers, the statistics tell you that the third time through the order,
Yeah.
that's when pitchers usually drop off really deep.
You know
so
who
they
didn't-
don't want to get to that point.
You
They
know
go
who
to the
didn't
bullpen
mind
early.
the third time through the order? The greatest pitcher to ever live, Robert Gibson.
No.
Bob Gibson, 251 career victories, 255 career complete games.
Wow.
I mean, incredible.
So here we have the best team in baseball coming into town, the biggest payroll, maybe the greatest player to ever play the game's going to be here.
He's all right.
What is a successful weekend for the Cardinals? Is it winning one of these games?
Well, you definitely don't want to get swept. But I think, a successful weekend is winning, too.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
winning the
I agree with
series
that.
is a successful weekend.
You know, everybody talks about old-timey, whatever his name is.
Shohei?
Yeah. You know, he'll be the second best player on the field out there.
Oh, behind Jordan Walker.
Jordan Walker. I think he's
man.
going to hit 2 home runs this series.
2 home runs.
Yep.
Hey, was this the same kind of pontification that President Trump said that the Iran war would only take 2 weeks? I'm starting to see a pattern with you guys, man. You just say some
Well, it's
ridiculous
not me, it's
stuff.
him.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about my friends to the
Oh.
right of the aisle here.
Oh, I see
you
what you're
know.
saying,
Come
yeah.
on. I mean,
I'm just saying.
Look, I love what Walker's done. And
Special.
Walker had gone through a couple of weeks where it looked a little thin, but he's picked it up the last few days. Had a home run last night, hit his 9th.
Yep.
He had a home run.
It's on a pace for 100 RBIs. season.
Weatherholt had one.
so if the Cardinals get 2 games against the Dodgers here, it doesn't appear that we're not playing Shohei. He won't. Obviously he'll
Well,
be
he's
at
not
the
gonna
bat,
pitch.
but he's not going to
Yeah.
pitch. So if we, as a fan, if we walk away with 2 games here,
that's
do
great.
cartwheels,
Yeah,
celebrate in
yeah.
the streets.
Absolutely.
If we sweep them, Jordan Walker's going to be the MVP, and
That's
we're going to
right.
win the World Series.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's the way it rolls around here. You know, St. Louis never. You get these seasons like 2006, and the team's kind of limping along, and then boom, there they are,
Chris,
hoisting the trophy.
We're all waiting for one of our players to come back off of the injured reserve list. That's
Lars.
Lars Nootbaar,
Lars
Taylor
Nootbaar.
When you
Tatsui
have it-
Nootbaar.
When you have a team that's kind of cohesive like it is right now, how do you deal with that? Injecting in a player that's clearly one of your, hallmarks of what you thought the team was going to be like. But do you want to disrupt this chemistry? Do you
It
want
depends.
to inject this guy in?
I don't think it's. I don't know what they're going to do, but somebody's going to probably lose a job in the
Nathan
outfield.
Church.
Well, it could be Victor Scott.
It could be Victor Scott.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now that's an interesting thought.
It is. It's not. First of all, it's not like I know Church has had a couple of home runs
5.
in big moments here, but overall, offensively, neither player's really doing a whole lot. Just overall,
Yeah.
like for the whole month.
Didn't Church make that catch I was just talking
Yes.
about?
But that's the thing. He's playing good defense.
He is.
Yeah. Well, we need defense.
But Scott can
'cause
do
we're
that,
gonna
too.
give up big hits.
So I don't know what they'll do.
Yeah.
But one of those guys probably out of a job. I don't know. Maybe they'll say, I
Platoon.
doubt it. Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah.
So
They're all left-handed bats, all 3 of them.
as we hit the break, I am curious to know from you, because Michael was telling us in the office that he's watched, and just now told us again, that he's watched more Cardinals baseball this year than he did probably all of last year.
Yeah.
We're curious to know from you if it's the same deal. Are you watching and listening to the Cardinals on KMOX more than you have? Let us know. 314-436-7900. It is the Chris and Amy Show. John Hancock, Michael Kelly on KMOX.
Why would life-saving care require a membership? In a real emergency, are you reaching for your wallet or your phone to call 911? And what if the member helicopter isn't the closest one? What if they don't carry blood on board? What if those differences matter? They do. Arch Air Medical Service is proud to serve Effingham and surrounding communities with life-saving air medical care. Our highly trained crews deliver advanced medicine in the air, because when seconds count, Capability matters more than a card in your wallet. Plus, we're part of Air Methods, the nation's largest air medical provider. Worried about cost? Here's the truth. The No Surprises Act protects patients with private insurance from unexpected out-of-network air ambulance bills. You'll only pay your in-network copay, coinsurance, or deductible. If you have Medicare or Medicaid, similar protections apply. Providers cannot bill beyond those limits. That means no air medical membership is needed. Learn more at airmethods.com. Copays, coinsurance, and deductibles are set by insurance providers, not Air Methods. Terms and costs may vary. Contact your insurer for details.
Welcome to Radio Rental. The scariest stories you've ever heard in your life. All told by real people. And off we go.
This wasn't a human being that I saw. There's something here in this house, something not of this world.
There was a woman moving through the hall. I stepped back and I was completely alone.
Radio Rental is available now. Listen for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game.
Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug!
Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down.
Hey!
Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Here's reason 17. In today's new world, many law firms have had money injected into their firms by Wall Street, private equity, and other lenders. This money usually comes in at very, very high interest rates. It's one of the reasons you see so many lawyers advertising. I'm John Morgan. This money is expensive and the interest compounds quickly. These law firms can have a huge need for cash just to pay that debt. Why does it matter to you? My fear is your case is settled early and for far less than it's worth, just to service the loan that has mafia-like rates. Our financial strength is your advantage. That plus our reputation makes our firm your firm. Visit forthepeople.com to see our results and verdicts. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Vira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Proudly serving St. Louis for over 100 years. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Movies.
It's Chris and Amy show on KMOX, but Amy's out. John Hancock and Michael Kelly with me for the first hour.
In.
You guys are in, baby.
In.
You know what I am out on, though, is these gas prices. It's absolutely
not good.
It's bad. The gas station by me is up about $1.10 over a 2-month period.
Yep.
That's a significant
it's a lot of money.
Increase. Gas prices today are up 33 cents over a week ago. That is on average around the country. We have heard that in many places it's up 9 cents just overnight. So from Thursday into Friday, gas has jumped up about 9 cents on average. Guys, I know we've talked a lot about this, and I remember just 3 years ago when gas was high, we were coming out of a pandemic.
Yep.
There was supply chain issues. there was huge demand on oil because people were coming out of their homes and they were starting to do things after that pandemic. And so gas shot up. The price of everything shot up. And I thought we were in an area now where prices were going to start to come down.
We were promised it.
So what I'm wondering is, we know what the real world cost is. It's about 9 cents overnight. That's the real world cost. 33 cents over the last week, $1.10 over the last 2 months. That's the real world cost. What is the political cost of this?
That's going to be better in 2 weeks. That's the president's line, just like we were going to end this war in 2 weeks. I think the political costs are substantial. Last night I was out in St. Charles with my mother. I saw something I'd never seen before in my life in the state of Missouri. Diesel, which, I guess people still buy it, besides the trucks, was up over $5.30.
Yeah?
I mean, think about that.
I
$5 for a gallon of gasoline.
I paid $4.71 for premium gas yesterday.
Oh,
$4.71.
Ritzy guy buying the premium stuff, man. Is that what it's forced to do for you, the engine in your car?
Yeah.
They tell you have to do that?
Yeah.
I wonder what happens if you don't do it.
Well, I may have to find out.
Do you notice if your car runs better?
My car's so old.
I can only speak to the political consequences. I think this is going to be a bad year for the Republicans, even with what's going on with the redistricting games, even with what the Supreme Court did the other day, throwing out the Voting Rights Act, which is going to allow them to divide up some of these African-American districts that have been made around the country. You can't have costs and prices going the way they are. And no matter how much fake news the president puts out there that it's better than it was under Joe Biden, that, the cost of cucumbers has gone down, it's all a lie. Joe Biden tried the same tactic to say that it isn't as bad as everybody thinks, and he got his lunch handed to him. I think this president's about to get his breakfast, lunch, and dinner handed to him. He's going to be so upset he's going to be throwing the ketchup against the wall.
It's going to be a rough midterm, no doubt about it. Now, I've got a little different take on the voting rights stuff. The conventional wisdom out there is that this is going to cost majority-minority districts from being created, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the incentive in redistricting when Republicans control is precisely the opposite, to create majority-minority districts and put as many minorities into a congressional district as possible so that the rest of the state can be drawn. I don't think this is going to result in reducing the number of majority-minority districts.
But look at Tennessee, John, where they have a majority-minority district around Memphis.
Yep.
And now they could divide Memphis up into 3 or 4 districts and you pick up a seat.
Right.
I mean, the reality is that this state that we're living in is probably about 43, 44% Democrat and the rest Republican in a statewide election. Right now, we have 2 Democratic congressmen, but there would be a way, it would be narrow, it would be hard, that you could make it so that all the districts were Republican districts in the state of Missouri. You might be able to pull it. You'd have to have janky districts that look like a rainbow
and the
going
other thing,
across the state, but that's what they're going to do to these majority districts.
I don't think so. I don't think so. The other thing that exists, aside from the Voting Rights Act statute, the other thing that exists is contiguous and compact districts. That's constitutionally, there's judicial precedent on that. And so if you're really gerrymandering districts and they're not contiguous and they're not compact, you've got a legal cause to go to court, and the Supreme Court has always upheld those requirements.
It's always upheld the Voting Rights Act until yesterday as well. I mean, look, our friends in Illinois have a district that goes from here in southern Illinois almost all the way to Chicago.
Yep.
Our friends down in Texas have districts that go from, the ocean to the middle of the state. I mean, gerrymandering's happening, and this particular Supreme Court is willing to throw out the Voting Rights Act as it relates to majority-minority. They're not going to enforce this compact and contiguous.
Well, you could be right. You could be right about this court.
Yeah.
But I do not fear. Just knowing how Republicans redistrict, I've done it. 3 times.
Yeah, I watched it.
And you're not going to see a significant diminution of majority-minority congressional districts.
So you don't think this will have the widespread negative impact that people who are worried about it are going to
I don't
believe it's going to happen.
I don't, because the theory would be that Republicans are going to take these minority districts and divide them up into it. You know,
That's the concern.
Well, that is a concern. But you're far better off politically to have an 80% Democratic district, so that the rest of the when you start taking an 80% pile of people and dividing them into 3 different segments, you're weakening the Republican performance of all 3 of those districts that you're drawing. And so the political reality and the smart political money is to take that 80% Democrat district and give it to the Democrats so that you can maximize the GOP support outside of that area. And I think that common sense logic will prevail.
So John's right. And in conventional, smart political thinking, the Republicans have always tried to compact African Americans into one district because it really dilutes a lot of the Democratic vote, etc. This president's not thinking in conventional, smart political thinking. He's thinking in the moment.
Yeah.
And I do think he's going to push on Tennessee to go and divide up that majority-minority district. Now, I don't know that he'll necessarily be successful this year, because I think a tidal wave is coming at the Republicans as a result of the gas prices, which we started with here, a distaste for this president who lied to a lot of his voters saying, I'm not going to start any more wars. I think he started more wars than the last 4 or 5 presidents combined. That he was going to bring prices down. So I think the tidal wave for the Republicans is such that even though they can skew the game in their side a bit, it won't work in this election, but it may work in elections going forward, especially if this holds that they can divide these minorities.
I know we're out of time. This strategy of redrawing congressional districts across the country, I think, is going to blow up in the Republicans' face.
What about, and before we hit the break here, there have been gerrymandering law proposals, anti-gerrymandering.
Sure.
Why not pass one?
Good. Several states have done so.
Well,
including California, by the way.
Yeah. Well, and in the one that just passed in Virginia, that allowed us to
let's do it nationwide.
It just allowed us to redraw it. If you go look at it, it says we're doing it right now for this election because of what the president's doing, but then we're going to go back to the nonpartisan drawing. I mean, this is all being disrupted by Donald Trump. Maybe the world's going to get right after Donald Trump, but this is one of the questions I have for the Republican Party. How's this all going to feel when there's some leftists out there doing the exact same thing, putting their face on, passports, changing regulations, renaming stuff? How are they going to feel about this? Because I feel like we've passed a Rubicon that maybe we're never going to go back to.
Hancock and Kelly on the Chris and Amy show on this Friday, and it has been a really great series in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch about downtown St. Louis, its importance, and what we can do moving forward. We'll get into that with the fellas when we come back on KMOX.
Before a nation, there was an idea. Before freedom, there was a sacrifice. This year, KMOX marks America's 250th birthday. Step into history with John Hancock and Michael Kelly, Sunday mornings at 8, as they pull you into the moment where everything was on the line. This is the sound of a nation being born. Celebrate America, 250 years strong, with Hancock and Kelly, Sunday mornings at 8, only on KMOX.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. It's a great time to buy a brand new McKelvey home, and we have a great deal for you. Special closeout savings at Summerlin in Inverness and St. Charles on move-in ready market homes with savings of up to $124,000 with 4.75% financing. Select from ranch, 1.5 or 2-story McKelvey homes. Hurry before it's too late. Visit McKelveyhomes.com. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey?
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's beautiful out there. 54 degrees and sunny in St. Louis. We're going to have a high of 61. Tonight will be chilly at the ball game. Maybe a shower in the area and a low of 44.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code MOVE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code MOVE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code MOVE to borrow up to $10,000.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX and my official sportsbook as well. And I just want to brag for a second and say that I have been with FanDuel longer than the state of Missouri. I've been playing when I've been out of town for a long, long time, a lot of years. It's a blast, and it's because they're always bringing something, right? Whether it was March Madness a while ago or the beginning of baseball season, there's always something going on. And right now, FanDuel is serving up a happy hour every day during the playoffs. So we'll be talking about special drops that you don't want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and a whole lot more than that. And the best part, it's every single day. So whether you're betting the early game or gearing up for prime time, just make sure you open the FanDuel app and see what's there waiting for you on every given day. Head to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started. And FanDuel, of course, is an official partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Today, the Cards, the Dodgers.
Ameren Total Access 620. First pitch 7:15.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Chris and Amy show on KMOX. Hancock and Kelly are here today, and Amy is out. Just so you know, a couple of things here. Robert is watching us on YouTube and says, "I'd love to listen to more Cardinals baseball, but Odyssey reminds me I'm out of market every time I try. I haven't been home since late January. I did see them in person at PNC the other day, so I assume Robert is in Pittsburgh." Oh. Just so you know, that is not an Odyssey thing.
It's a great park.
That is a Major League Baseball thing. Right. The reason you cannot listen to Cardinals baseball, if you leave town, you go to Montana, you go to Pittsburgh, you cannot listen to the Cardinals on the app because of Major League Baseball. You have to buy the MLB audio package from their app. That's why.
Would I get in trouble if I were to tell people a little secret on how to get around that?
Probably.
Really? I shouldn't go there?
I don't
Well, you can't not go there now that you've gone there.
All right. So what I have done when I'm here in St. Louis, if you go to your Apple iPhone and you quit sharing your location with your phone, and your last location is in St. Louis, and say you're in a place like, I don't know, Florida, and as long as you're not using any of the location devices and your phone still thinks you're in St. Louis, you're able to get it.
Well, there you go.
Okay. Michael, you can't just tell people stuff.
Well, that was just a hypothesis. Hey, you told me to do it, Mr. Prediction there. Am I in deep trouble here?
No, you're fine.
Okay, thanks.
Also, another baseball
First
note.
Amendment, buddy.
We were talking about how good
That's going away.
Well, talk about how good the division is.
Yes.
This is the first division in the history of the National League where every team is at least 500 entering May. It's never happened before.
Right.
Never.
It's never happened
Well,
before.
we've only had divisional play since, 1969-ish? So it's fairly recent.
So the AL West did it in 96 and 97. The AL East did it in 2012 and 2023.
Yeah.
But this is the first time.
A National League division.
So on paper, though, is this, because, I know the Cardinals are outperforming and exceeding expectations. Is this the best division in baseball prior
I don't know.
to the season starting?
It's not the best. It's just the tightest.
Well, and the other thing is that we haven't had interdivision play at the level that you typically do by the first month of the season. I mean, this last series in Pittsburgh was the first time we faced any NL Central team. So once we start getting interdivisional play or intra-divisional play, you're going to see those records start to shift quite a bit, I think.
Cardinals are 9-9 in interleague, by the way.
I got one more baseball thing for you, Hugo. Obviously, most of our algorithms, most of the media we consume is skewed by what comes out of New York, right? Just because New York's the center of the world. So I follow some Barstool guys. I follow some ESPN guys. I love the fact that the Mets are just an absolute slop bucket with the second highest payroll in baseball. I mean, they are, and people are losing their minds, and it's so fun to root against them and watch these New Yorkers' heads blow up.
11 games under 500 already.
It's incredible.
Do you know how hard it is to be 11 games under a month in?
Yeah.
That is so hard to do.
And am I right in thinking that there's one player on the Mets team who makes more than a year than almost our entire lineup makes in a year?
They got a $300+ million payroll.
I love it. I love it. It's so fun to watch these New York bias just blow up over this. And they're wasting all that money.
Guys, as I mentioned, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch has done a really nice series of editorials this week. And yesterday we talked to the editor of the opinions.
Old Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin McDermott.
Hardly old. He's a good dude. Young man.
Kevin's great. And so we spoke to him yesterday about this series. And there's been one every day about downtown, where it is, what it needs to do. Today's piece is about a thing that we talked about yesterday, and that is maybe one of the biggest obstacles of downtown's reputation is St. Louisans themselves, because they have a pretty negative opinion of downtown.
Yeah.
So it's not people from the outside. I mean, you do have some outsiders, like the Mets broadcast we were just talking about when they were here a few weeks ago, talking about how there's no people.
Just they're making an observation.
Yeah. And
they weren't wrong.
But also, maybe we are in our own way quite a bit, don't you think?
I do. Michael and I spoke to a business downtown yesterday over the lunch hour, and we left the building at 1:00, and there was, and this is Pine. I mean, this is the heart of downtown. Nobody. I mean, literally nobody on the streets at 1:00.
And my buddy, who has a hard time remembering directions and making any observations, the first thing he said is, "Oh my gosh, this is like a movie set. Look at it out here. There is nobody anywhere." And he pointed it out to me, and you're not normally the person who would observe that kind of stuff.
I'm not particularly perceptive. There was an orthopedic hospital right outside my subdivision that I didn't notice for 3 years.
There was a pillar in the newsroom that holds up the building.
Right.
And John walked in and goes, "When did this get here?"
But we had to walk 2 blocks to our car.
2 blocks?
Well, it was 2 city blocks.
6 blocks.
It's different than, the blocks that you live in.
It was a horrible
the suburbs. But we saw barely anyone. And it really was depressing. Now, I'm a person who's invested their entire life in the city of St. Louis.
Tent.
Yes, we saw a homeless tent. I live in the Central West End. I have my office less than 2 blocks from here.
2 blocks.
And over the last 5 or 6 years, what was already on a trajectory of doom and gloom just has turned into nothingness. And it's so sad to see. I mean, we were in a tall building yesterday, and I spent a good 10 minutes looking out the windows, and there's some spectacular buildings and architecture and views. And the one thing that's missing is exactly what the Mets broadcaster said, which is people.
The thing about downtown and what happened post-pandemic, because a lot of this is that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call downtown, when I moved back here in 2017, I wouldn't say that this was a thriving downtown area.
Yeah.
There were some spots here and there where you could go to, but it wasn't thriving. The entire area wasn't. It has gotten worse since COVID, and I think of all the cities that couldn't afford COVID, because COVID did this to a lot of cities around the country.
For sure.
One of the cities maybe that could handle it the least was this one.
Yeah, and because the fundamental problem with downtown is that nobody lives here. And if you want to have activity on the streets is a great method to reduce crime. If you got numbers of people, you're going to have less crime. And if somehow some visionary leader could figure out a way, and maybe it's in North St. Louis where so many of those homes are tornado damaged and blah, 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 to build a community with a great school and great services, grocery stores, health facilities, and a neighborhood, a mixed income neighborhood that would be home to tens of thousands of families, of people potentially. Then that's automatically guarantees you foot traffic in the city. And foot traffic in the city will beget more foot traffic in the city, and the city will become, the downtown area will become more appealing to folks to come down and have a lunch meeting, to come down and have dinner at night with their spouse, because there's stuff going on. And I think the fundamental issue here is a lack of population.
So, look, can I posit this thought though? Because whenever we have the conversation about downtown, particularly if you're west of 270 on either side of what, or either state,
God's country,
people kind of refer to the city thing as their problem. Their problem. Doesn't there almost need to be a psychological change for this entire region, and specifically the thriving suburbs, that they have a responsibility in this game too for what happens in downtown? And we've all experienced it. I was with a guy the other day for lunch, and he was like, yeah, I only go down there for baseball games, and I'm much more concerned than I used to be, and it's a war zone, and it's all this. Well, we know that that's not factually true, but that's the perception, and that's being perpetuated by folks that are dependent on downtown, whether or not they realize it or not.
As one of the pieces, I think it was the Wednesday piece, pointed out, and they framed it this way. It was guess how many, or if you had to guess how many murders occurred in downtown St. Louis. So this is Jefferson to the river, about Washington Avenue down to Choteau. All of last year, how many murders do you think happened?
3.
It was 2.
Yeah.
But the perception is that it's like 50 or
Right.
100,
Right, yeah,
or I think somebody in the room said 200,
What?
when we were talking about, it was Matt. Yeah, like that's the perception, is that you go downtown and there's a 50% chance you're going to get shot.
Right.
Which it isn't true. But St. Louisans believe that. It's not necessarily outsiders. It's people who live here who think if you go downtown for any reason, there's a 50% chance you're not going to make it out alive. And that just isn't remotely true.
No, it's not true. And it would be even safer if more people were here, obviously.
STL Fly Guy on YouTube says, Amy said it best, you can't be a suburb of nowhere. Actually, she took that from me. I said that.
I think you took that from Michael.
I think Michael took it from me, too.
Oh.
I think we've been saying it since before you were on this station.
You guys are stealing my stuff. Stop stealing my crap.
Yeah, well,
but you can't. And that's why everybody in the region should care about downtown, and not just, fix all your problems. It should be, no, what can I do to help?
Well, and
that's the attitude we all need to have.
And it really, probably more than anybody, should be the suburbs, both near and far suburbs, because yes, you live in a great community, being you have a nice job, but if things continue to evaporate from the city and people won't relocate here and won't bring business here, you're not going to be in St. Charles. You're not going to be in St. Clair anymore. you're going to be living in, Johnson County over in Kansas City or
your
somewhere
job's gonna
around
move.
Nashville because your job is going to leave.
Right.
We're all in this together. And last night I was in St. Charles, tried to go to dinner, 3 or 4 restaurants, couldn't get in with my mom because there's so many people out there. Things are happening. All fine and well. But the reason that St. Charles exists because of this place right here. And as this continues to evaporate, so will the opportunities in St. Charles, and they're going to see the same plight that we have here.
A texter says, my perception is not about murder. It's about my car being broken into or being mugged. And that's fine, but your odds of being mugged also very, 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 very low. I've been coming downtown since I moved back here damn near daily. And since I've been in this job, obviously every day I go to a ton of Cardinals games, been to a bunch of Blues games, City games, Battlehawks. I live in the city. I live really close to downtown. I'm here all the time.
Yeah.
None of that's ever happened to me. So it does happen. It can happen to you, but the odds of it happening to you extremely low.
Yeah.
It's Chris and Amy show on KMOX. Still a little bit to go with Hancock and Kelly on 104.1 FM.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
On Saturday, May 16th, join KMOX and Grassroots Redeeming Love in commemorating 1 year since the historic EF3 tornado that devastated North St. Louis with a short morning of service. Volunteers will meet in the Kingsway East neighborhood from 9 to 11 to help clear tree limbs and trash. If interested in RSVPing for the cleanup or interested in donating to the effort, go to KMOX.com/events for more information.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Lowe's has the brands pros trust to get the job done. You can now shop new Catalyst fencing solutions and save big when you do. 10% off when you buy in bulk. Plus, save $180 on a DeWalt 12-inch dual bevel sliding compound miter saw. Now just $449. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Here in St. Louis, we take pride in supporting our health and our community. That's why more and more families are turning to Neovitin multivitamins, created by a local physician and made right here in the U.S. using the highest quality domestic and international ingredients. With formulas for men, women, and adults 50 plus, Neovitin helps keep St. Louis families energized, supported, and ready for life. Find Neovitin at your local Dierbergs, Schnucks, and online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
If you need a garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of your choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings, up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Don't miss the Route 66 Centennial Festival at the Missouri History Museum, April 30th through May 3rd. Bring back memories of the Mother Road's stunning natural scenery and roadside attractions, and explore its complex history and impacts on communities across the region, featuring a concert by Sweetie and the Toothaches. a classic car show, neon display, food trucks, lectures, kids crafts, and more. All activities are free. Schedule at mohistory.org/festival.
If you're getting close to retirement, or maybe you're just thinking about retirement more in general, you're probably thinking about when can you retire? Will you have enough money to live on? You know, we all have retirement questions that, let's be honest, they're overwhelming and just can stress us out. But Steve All can help answer those questions so that you'll feel more confident about this next phase of your life. Check out his show, The All Financial Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 and Sunday evenings at 6 here on KMOX.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's Chris and Amy's show, that's right, but we got Hancock and Kelly for a little bit longer. John's going to stick around with me, though, after... Michael, why don't you just stick around for a while?
You guys, I'm busy. I got to go research the horses for the Kentucky Derby. I've got to pick up my cleaning. I got to wash my hair.
We were just...
Isn't that what girls usually say when they don't want to stick around anymore? I have to wash my hair.
I don't think they do that anymore.
No? What do they say? I'm going to get lip injections?
No, they I think what people do now is they just ignore you.
Well, yeah.
They don't have to say no to a date. They can just not
respond to the text message.
Yeah. Speaking of text messages, 314-436-7900. We were just talking about downtown and crime and the perception and all of that, and reference of the STL Today pieces that have come out this week. And a texter says Annie Fry got carjacked at gunpoint. What do you think her perception of the city is? And what I think what they're referring to is the argument we've made that, yes, crime happens down here, but that doesn't mean when you come down here it's going to happen to you. But the perception is that if you step foot downtown, you're immediately in danger. It just isn't true. Well, I would say to that, that's a fallacy of, was it a fallacy of generalization or an anecdotal fallacy? That, yes, okay, if I win the lottery, I will say, well, the lottery's easy. I won.
Right.
That's like, okay, that's not the same. Yes, it can happen to you. Yes, your car can get broken into. Yeah. Yes, you can get mugged. That doesn't mean that's what happens to everybody when they come into a city.
I will say this. A couple, 3 years ago, it was after COVID, there was a charity event on Washington Avenue that Georgianne and I attended. And so you get there at, 6 o'clock or whatever, and then you park on the street. And, no problem. You go in, and the event's over at, 8:45, 9 o'clock, and it's completely dark outside. And leaving that building, head was on a swivel.
Yeah.
Walking, from the venue to the car.
You know what? I do that all the time, though.
Yeah.
Like that. It's not that I don't know that my ears are perked a little more because I'm here. I'm just always kind of paying attention to what's around me.
Yeah.
A couple of thoughts. I've lived in the city for 20 plus years, owned businesses in the, anybody who's spent any time in a city has been a victim of crime. I have. I've had my car broken into a couple of times. I'm not as scared as most people are in the city. I understand why females in particular could be scared, but I would imagine that a female's just as scared in St. Charles County at times as they would be inside the city of St. Louis. But I don't know that it's all perception. I've had my car broken into several times here in the city, and, I'm frustrated, and I think a lot of it comes from lack of presence of people, lack of presence of police, and then just, the plain defunding that we saw over the last couple of years. And I'm as pro-city as they come, but we've got some hills to climb here.
There's no question about that, but I do think it's an all-hands-on-deck kind of thing, too.
Totally. It matters to you. If you can hear our voice, no matter where you're at, this matters to you.
Goodbye, Michael.
See you now.
John Hancock, you get to hang out with me for another couple hours-ish or so. John Hancock and Chris Ranji on the Chris and Amy show. When we come back, we're going to talk to Samir Knox, staff writer for St. Louis Magazine. We've been talking this week about an attorney in town who's been buying up homes in Webster Groves, and there's some concern from residents there about what happens next with all of those houses. We will talk to Samir when we come back on KMOX.
I'm Dr. Colleen Bosler with the Audiology Center. and I'm talking with my associate, Dr. Adam Voss. What happens to a person's brain when they ignore their hearing loss?
There is such a strong connection between the ear and the brain. Ignoring your hearing loss can cause the brain to become lazy and the speech areas in the brain to shrink. This is partially why you can hear the words, but you cannot understand them. If a hearing loss goes untreated for too long, it may cause an irreversible change in the brain. It is incredibly important to have your hearing screened at 60 or older, or sooner if you're noticing difficulty. And the sooner someone treats their hearing loss, the better and quicker their brain will adapt to hearing sound again. Studies show that those who get hearing aids, even with a mild hearing loss, are much more successful hearing aid users as compared to those that wait longer.
So call us today to get your comprehensive hearing evaluation with one of our doctors. 636-441-7470. Or visit us online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA, so we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Penalties and interest are piling up every single day. Wage garnishments and bank levies could hit any moment. If you've been avoiding it out of fear, you're not alone. But waiting only shrinks your options and ramps up the stress. The truth is, the IRS settles with taxpayers every day through legitimate programs, and many qualify to reduce what they owe, in some cases by up to 99%. That's why thousands turn to helpwithirsdebt.com. They've guided over 120,000 Americans, resolved more than $2.3 billion in tax debt, and back every case with their ironclad resolution guarantee. If there's no real path forward, you get a full refund, no fine print. They even randomly select one qualifying client each year and pay off their entire IRS balance. Terms apply. Don't let another day pass. Go to helpwithirsdebt.com right now. It's fast, easy, and confidential. Find out what's possible today. Helpwithirsdebt.com. Once again, that's helpwithirsdebt.com.
It is 10:02. We've got sunshine, 53 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Federal prosecutors are coming to St. Louis to help with a backlog of violent crime cases. 6 U.S. attorneys and 8 assistant U.S. attorneys were sworn into the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office Tuesday. More are expected to be added this summer. They'll operate both on the state and federal level and are hoping to make a dent in the city's homicide cases. The move comes after attorneys from St. Louis and St. Charles County have been helping the city for about the last month. It may soon be easier to bring guns onto passenger trains in the United States. We get more from CBS's Jim Krasula.
Amtrak is considering allowing people to store guns in lockboxes on most of its trains, which critics say would weaken security measures that instead should be strengthened in light of the shooting at last weekend's White House Correspondents Association dinner. Investigators say the man arrested in connection with the incident traveled by Amtrak from California to Washington, D.C. with his firearms.
The Trump administration has been pushing Amtrak to ease its gun policies for months. Illinois House Republicans celebrating the fact that voters will not see a state constitutional amendment on redistricting come before them in November. House Minority Leader Tony McCombie says the celebration won't last long.
The Democrat majority will stop at nothing to enshrine their power and erode fair elections, which is why we will continue our work fighting against the worst gerrymandered maps in the nation.
Proponents missed a May 1st deadline to get redistricting on the Illinois ballots for this fall. A Louisiana congressional candidate is suing to prevent the state's governor from postponing the upcoming House primary elections. Governor Landry's order came after Wednesday's Supreme Court ruling, which invalidated the state's congressional district map as an unconstitutional racial gerrymander.
That lawsuit, filed by 5th District candidate Lindsey Garcia, claims Landry's emergency order is an unconstitutional overreach and disenfranchises voters who've already turned in absentee ballots. The suit also claims the Supreme Court's decision did not order the state to put the election on hold. However, Loyola University of New Orleans law professor Dane Ciolino believes the court will allow Landry's order to stand.
At this point, the state can't constitutionally conduct elections under a map that the Supreme Court has declared to be unconstitutional. That would violate the Equal Protection Clause.
Ian Ozan for CBS News, New Orleans.
From the KMOX Business Desk, if you're looking for a book this weekend, the largest Midwest charity book fair is back at Queenie Park. The Greater St. Louis Book Fair started yesterday, runs through Sunday. Admission is free this weekend, and if you're looking for a deal, all books are half off on Sunday.
Sunny to partly cloudy, but still quite cool this afternoon, high 61. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight with a stray shower, low 44. Remaining quite cool tomorrow with intervals of clouds and sun, just a chance of a shower, high 60. Sunday, mostly sunny, breezy, much warmer in the afternoon, high 78. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is sunny and 53 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Sandberg Phoenix serves your business in litigation, intellectual property, and products liability. We're more than a law firm. We're committed to your success. Learn more at sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
John Hancock and Chris Ranji on KMOX today. We've got the Gas House Gang at 12 o'clock, and we'll take you all the way up until then. And we appreciate you being with us. And as Amy and I, we've talked about this just briefly this past week, the story from St. Louis Magazine about Jim Onder, the attorney. You've probably heard him before.
Yep.
And you've heard of him before. And he has bought a bunch of residences in Webster Groves. And it is alarming some of the folks who live there. They're wondering what the plan is, and they feel like they're not quite sure what's going to happen next. And, of course, as home prices have continued to be on the rise, and for a lot of people, buying a home seems inaccessible, of course, there is concern out there. Covering the story for St. Louis Magazine is Samir Knox, who joins us now on KMOX. Good morning, Samir. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. So you have spoken to residents who live in Webster Groves, have seen all of these houses be purchased, and they don't really know what the purpose is. Can you tell us in a little more detail exactly what it is and why they are nervous about it?
Yeah. So I'd say that this has been somewhat of a gradual thing on the part of Mr. Onder, who runs Onder Law, and he's spent the past 35 years, he told me, just acquiring properties along Brentwood, if you're familiar with that street, as it goes into Webster, kind of in the north section of there, and just gradually has been acquiring properties there and a little bit elsewhere. And then I think it's just over the past, kind of late 2010s, early 2020s, gotten onto the street of Corona Court, which is kind of the main area where, like, a lot of residents spoke in this piece we did this week. And so those folks, I guess, had just seen things change over time and seen just like, I guess just found it puzzling. And I used that, I guess, as a catalyst to try and get some answers from him about maybe what the plans are.
So is the concern that he's going to raise these houses and build bigger houses, or is the concern that it's going to become a rental community?
Well, the thing that I heard initially was that there had been a lot of rumors over the years, just as he'd acquired properties in that area, about maybe either of those things. And people just, at the end of the day, just weren't sure. And so as like Mr. Onder's name kept popping up on the deeds for a couple of these houses nearby, they were worried that it might mean things for their community, like, you know, those potential for those two things. And so when I spoke with him, he gave a different answer that basically it seemed like he does not want to continue to acquire properties on Corona Court, but had a kind of like complicated, broader vision for redeveloping the Brentwood corridor into something that looks kind of like a corridor along Hanley that developed a lot in the past 30 years, kind of the timeline for which he's acquired properties there. And it's just been a matter of timing and it being kind of a side project for his, you know, main business is kind of the sense I got from him.
And so the concern, I suppose, for most of them is that, you know, maybe the home prices will be too much, or, you know, they're maybe, as John mentioned, some of those houses would be demolished and to make way for something bigger, different, more expensive, which could price them out a bit. Do they feel like his response to it has alleviated those concerns a bit?
Sure. Actually, it should have been a bit clear at the outset that, yeah, a big part of the concern here is that this portion of Webster is, I guess, where you'd consider kind of like a more affordable portion of that compared to, I guess, what we would think about Webster as having these kind of larger, more affluent, at least from the outside appearing homes. And these are kind of more modest. A lot of the homes on Corona Court and nearby are like one-story homes. And so, yeah, that's part of the concern, is that this is an affordable place to live, and whatever comes next could potentially be much more expensive. I haven't been able to get in touch with anyone since to see how they feel specifically about Mr. Onder's statements to us, other than this community land trust that has been kind of in talks with him for some stuff that comes up in that piece. But it does sound like there's an shared interest between Mr. Onder and the residents in not displacing people and keeping things affordable at the same time.
So if you're not on a farm, chances are you're in a neighborhood somewhere in the metropolitan area. And I would think that some percentage of homes in any neighborhood are owned by non-residents who are renting those units. I mean, you know, having rental properties in one's neighborhood is not particularly unique, is it?
No, that's a very good point. Yeah, it's not particularly unique to Webster Groves, nor is it necessarily like, yeah, I mean, people are allowed to own property wherever they choose if it's for sale and buy it, and that's fine. I think that's worth highlighting. And part of the concern, I guess, is just that when there's people who are, I guess, developers, or it seems like there's the contiguous properties, that potentially the fear in people's minds initially was that, like, oh, if this person is going to do something else, or if there's going to be new homes here, it collectively raises the property taxes of us. That's not exactly the case in this story, but that I think was kind of what I was hearing initially, like earlier this year when this whole process started.
Samir Knox with St. Louis Magazine is visiting with us on KMOX. And yeah, I think home prices for just about everybody, whether you're trying to get into a home, whether it's for the first time or whatever, or you're trying to sell a home, there's a lot of concern about rates and prices and all of that. This particular neighborhood that you're talking about, as you mentioned, they're smaller homes. They're not what you typically think of when you think of Webster Groves. How large is that area that we're talking about specifically?
Well, if we look at Corona Court specifically, this is just a little cul-de-sac with about 25 homes. The neighboring area where you could find homes of that scale, I'd say, is a few blocks, like south of Brentwood, and which is where that area is, and then a few blocks north of Brentwood. There are, I think, consistently some homes of that scale and size, and over time it's been mixed in. There are some newer developments that are a bit more expensive, a bit larger, but overall this still remains, at least from my view, a pretty mixed income, affordable neighborhood by Webster Grove standards, like we're talking about.
Yeah, and, you know, places like that, in the St. Louis metropolitan area, where you've got affordable housing in a safe, stable community with good schools, which you have in Webster Groves. Those are somewhat rare, right?
Yeah, I'd say that it's unique to me. I have some friends growing up and going to college that grew up in Webster Groves, and I guess their experience in Webster Groves is a lot different. But like places like this are great, I guess, in the sense of like, oh, there's places where if you don't make as much money or if you have a smaller or younger family, you can get your children into a good school, like a pretty well-respected school in Webster Groves. As far as public schools go, you can get your children in there and kind of raise your family in like I guess I would say a pretty iconic neighborhood. And I guess to clarify with when we're talking about this Anders situation here, when I kind of put these questions to him about affordability, he presented, I think, a kind of interesting answer that I found some data to back up, which was that it's a lot cheaper, I guess, if you are really cash strapped to rent from him than it would be to buy out directly. And so for that, I guess he claims and said to me that, like, you know, there are opportunities to buy affordable houses there still that he doesn't own, but there are also houses he owns and rents out that allow even lower income people to experience that, schools in that community.
Samir Knox, who you've also covered a number of other stories in St. Louis Magazine recently, and one of them is about there were two homeless people who ended up dying during dying from hypothermia during the cold weather that we had here recently in St. Louis. And the city had done what we had heard about being fairly successful with the Code Blue initiative, which is when they really ramp up when the weather is about to get severely cold, and they try to provide warm places for the unhoused, the homeless to sleep. And there were other cities around the country that were taking notice of what St. Louis was doing in that regard. So, first of all, how much do you know about what these other towns were wondering about St. Louis and how much they are trying to mirror what St. Louis did here?
That's a great question. I know very little about that, I'll confess. I know that we are certainly not the first city that's done something like this. I believe that there's models in Kansas City and elsewhere kind of in southeast of us. But basically, yeah, there was this program, just to kind of clarify for the audience, that ran shuttles around St. Louis City for a couple hours on nights when temperatures got really, really cold, and drastically scaled up shelter beds. And so the city kind of partnered directly with shelter providers like Peter and Paul Community Services is a big one. And that whole partnership network that just mobilized city employees and nonprofit people all out to do that, that's kind of, I think, the model that people are looking to. It's one that we didn't invent, but it's one that I've just heard the rumblings that people are looking to. But I'll have to look more into that, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, Samir, so what happened with these two deaths then that were not previously reported?
Well, yeah, so there are two gentlemen that passed away, one of whom was early November. His name was Willie Hurst, and he was died of hypothermia, as I recall being told by a couple people, on a day when temperatures were not below freezing. So it was a day before this whole Code Blue program that we're talking about started. It was before the first day that the city deployed that, which would have been kind of around Thanksgiving time. And so he was not in a position, there were not services that could have caught this person, which was its own problem. But also, I think the city had told me that there were what they call comorbidities involved with his death. They didn't say what they were, but there were other factors, and hypothermia was just one of them. So he died before that, which is quite tragic and quite upsetting. But that was something that we didn't know until basically the city kind of brought it up after one of our stories in the past few weeks. And the second one, just quickly, was this other gentleman who died in the end of January, which would have been in the midst of this really big cold snap that you both might recall. Well, all these services were pretty active. And that gentleman died, I believe, at the intersection of 13th and Cass, I believe is where he was found. Same story, hypothermia, other comorbidities that the city says was a factor there. And I think an important part of that piece that's kind of, I guess, complicating is that he was right next to, I'm sure you've heard of this 10th and Cass homeless encampment, and also kind of near a shelter as well. So there were people out there were people around looking for him, and there were people who saved a lot of people's lives. And this person, I think, just tragically fell through the cracks.
It's Absolutely tragic. Samir Knox, we appreciate your reporting as always, and we thank you for jumping on the show with us today.
Thank you both very much. Take care.
That is Samir Knox from St. Louis Magazine, and every Friday we are talking to folks from St. Louis Magazine about some of the various stories they are covering, and they do such a fantastic job over there.
Yeah.
John Hancock, Chris Ranji on the Chris and Amy Show. The Gas House Gang is coming up at 12 o'clock. Matt Pauley and I will talk some sports with you. We're going to be visited by Katie Wu at 12:30. Remember
nice.
Katie? Yeah. She is now covering the Dodgers. Dodgers are in town for the first of 3 at Busch Stadium, and you can hear the ball game here on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
1 in 4 people surveyed by Bankrate.com say they're literally losing sleep because of worries that they may have not saved enough to retire. If you're ready to get serious about planning for your financial future, you could start by listening to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All of the All Financial Group.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different. If you want assistance, we can also help you at that point.
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
Just a reminder to have your air conditioner checked for the summer so you don't have a mishap and it goes down in the hottest day of the year. But it's always best to have it done. Call us and we'll be more than happy to come out there and check it for you. And like always, if you're having your furnace checked by another company and you are told that this is the year you need to replace it, call me for a second opinion. The 0% interest is still available on most brands. Save your cash and keep your credit cards open and away from those high rates. Call me. You'll be glad you did. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest. It is 314-293-2600 or on the website bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Let's talk about Air Medical memberships. In an emergency, you don't choose who transports you. Dispatch sends the closest, most appropriate aircraft. Here's what matters: speed, skill, advanced care. Like critical care crews trained for the toughest moments. Like onboard blood that can make the difference between life and death. Arch Air Medical Service delivers life-saving air medical care across Effingham and surrounding communities. When you call for help, we bring hospital-level care to you. Plus, we're part of Air Methods, the nation's largest air medical provider. And about the cost, the No Surprises Act protects patients with private health insurance from unexpected out-of-network air ambulance bills. You're only responsible for your in-network copay, coinsurance, or deductible. Medicare and Medicaid patients have similar protections. No surprise bills, no balance billing, no membership required. Because when it's your life on the line, what matters isn't membership, it's medicine. Learn more at airmethods.com. Copays, coinsurance, and deductibles are set by insurance providers, not Air Methods. Terms and costs may vary. Contact your insurer for details.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
Turning 50 doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter about your health. That's why we created Neovitin Men's 50 Plus Multivitamin. It's doctor formulated to support your energy, immune health, and overall vitality. Plus, it's made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients. Take control of your health with supplements you can trust. Look for Neovitin Men's 50 Plus at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, or online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, made for men who keep moving forward.
A century strong. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Chris and Amy Show on KMOX. We've got John Hancock in today for Amy Marks Coors, and we appreciate your text messages and phone calls and all of that at 314-436-6600. 7,900. Gas House Gang, as I mentioned, will be at 12 o'clock today. Tonight, Cardinals baseball. Pre-game show is at 6:20, 7:15 for the first pitch. Matt Pauley will have the call of that, and Matt's going to be on the gas house with me today at 12.
Fun.
Yeah, Matt's the best.
Good little run here for the Redbirds.
Isn't it fun? It's
so fun.
So, for whatever reason, in my mind, I was thinking they finished April over 500 last year, but they didn't. It took them until about the middle of May.
May was the hot month last year.
Yeah, that's when they started.
We started getting excited.
Right, but this is a better start than they've had in quite some time.
Yeah.
Which, again, I think there are some flaws that will ultimately cause the probably the record to even out a little bit.
I was out yesterday.
But still, it's fun in the meantime.
Did you watch the game yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. So Hunter Dobbins, I know he walked 5 guys.
Yeah.
But how did he look to you overall?
Well, I mean, up until the walks, I think he looked all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Velocity good?
Yeah. Seemed like it.
All right.
I think that, look, he's relatively young still. I don't know what the long-term plan is going to be, but this is the year to find out.
Right.
So the more reps he gets at this level, let's go. Because it's this season, no matter what happens with the wins and losses, this is all about future. It's all about getting ready for the future.
Yeah.
Because, and here's the way I look at it. You could say, well, maybe they surprise everybody and they start to play really well, and then they're, in wild card contention, which could happen.
Good, yeah.
And so then you have to go for it, right? Well, the way I look at it is they're probably not going. This is not the kind of team that you would make trades at the deadline for this year, right? You wouldn't say we're close.
Yeah,
we're close to a division. We're close to a. Yeah. So let's go get this guy. Let's give up. Let's give up assets to go trade for a reliever or somebody else. This is not that kind of team. So to me, whatever happens with the wins and losses is just gravy.
Right.
Because this is all about Chaim Bloom in his first year trying to figure out what kind of roster. Yeah, take an inventory.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's been there already for a couple of years, but now this is his team. And so this is his opportunity to get a good look at some of these young guys and then make decisions moving forward.
Have you been following the starting pitching at AAA much or AA this year?
Not a ton.
Okay, because I wonder, what we've got there. The guy I haven't heard anybody talk about in a while is Cooper Jerpy, the left-hander, kind of a crafty left-hander.
Got a crafty name.
Yeah, and it would be the second Cardinal pitcher with a silent H in his last name.
Silent pitcher.
Anybody?
Who's it? Oh, Roboski?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Al Roboski. Very good.
All right. Yeah.
But, you've got him, of course, Liam Doyle, everybody's raving about. Quinn Matthews, been hot and cold, but better as of late. I mean, we've got some real assets down on the farm.
And I can't wait to see what they do with another draft, because this last one was pretty universally liked by people who cover the game around baseball.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't mean everything, but it should mean a little something, that you've got people who cover minor league baseball, they cover amateur ball, and they know a lot of these players that are coming out of college, coming out of high school, and they are telling you, yep, what the Cardinals did was pretty good. Like, they had a pretty good draft.
Yeah, and
so when these people who are objective, they have no rooting interest when it comes to this team or any others, I think that's great when you hear stuff like that.
Well, overall, the Cardinal farm system is in the top, 5 in all of baseball now?
Yeah.
That's impressive. We haven't been there for a long time.
No, and that's how they're going to have to do it. It can't just be buying free agents, paying large salaries.
That doesn't always. Well, it doesn't work.
It doesn't unless you also do the other. There are two sides of this equation. You have to have a good minor league system where you're graduating players that are the core of your team, and then you have to supplement them sometimes with a guy who costs a little bit of money.
Yep.
You know, it can't always be the best mid-tier free agent. Sometimes you're going to have to go get a big boy, and that's okay, right? And the best teams are the ones that do that. They do both. The Dodgers have a ton of resources. They do both.
Yeah.
They draft really, really well. They have a good minor league system, and they're able to pay players a lot of money on the big league roster, too.
Well,
the Mets don't do both.
They don't.
Pay a lot of guys, but they don't draft and develop all that well.
Yeah, and the Cardinals in the recent glory years, Albert Pujols, Adam Wainwright, who we traded for, but really came up through our system. But we supplemented with a Chris Carpenter and a Jim Edmonds and a Scott Rowland.
Yeah, so that's what needs to happen here. The Cardinals are pretty far away from that part, I think. I think we're a couple of years away from them saying, okay, this core, really, really good.
Maybe 1 year.
I hope, you know what, I hope you're right. I hope that it is one. I think realistically it's probably a couple, but maybe it does happen quickly. Maybe it does happen in 1 year. And this is such a huge year for them, trying to really get that inventory and figure out what they got and what they need. And hell, maybe they win a bunch of games in the meantime. That would be a lot of fun, too. It's already been a lot of fun, and I hope it continues.
I'm for it.
Hancock is here. Kelly left. He said he had stuff to do. I'm Chris Ranji. Glad you're with us. Jen Cease will join us. We're going to talk a little soccer with her. Broadcaster for Y98, City SC just won the U.S. Open Cup game earlier this week, so they advanced there. We'll talk about that when we come back on KMOX.
It's not really a sports show. It's just a show.
So I don't really have a sports show, but I love the Cardinals. I am born and bred St. Louis, went to my first game like so many of you, 4 years old. Couldn't believe how green it was standing there next to the players with my dad, and now I go with my kids. You get it. So when you listen to the DGS, it's going to be a slice of life happy hour, but we're always going to talk Cardinals.
The Dave Glover Show at 1. Then stick around for Cardinals baseball.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Laterman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Laterman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Laterman Law Firm at latermanlaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Is your garage door past its prime? Get a free repair or replacement quote from Renner Garage Door. Renner is America's oldest family-owned garage door company that serves both wholesale and retail markets. Right now, get $100 off a new garage door when you mention this ad. With trusted brands like Delden, Amar, LiftMaster, you know it's built to win. Renters also hire experienced techs and installers. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. Every spring, families consider moving, and this year I encourage you not to wait. The McKelvey Homes Spring Event is one of the best offers we've had in years, with rates as low as 4.75% financing and savings up to $124,000 on move-in ready homes. The event ends May 31st. Secure your savings and schedule your personal tour today at McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Each year in St. Louis, 10 women are recognized for volunteer leadership that changes lives. They support families, strengthen communities, and create opportunities where they're needed most. Join us Tuesday, May 19th at the Ritz-Carlton for the 2026 Women of Achievement Awards Luncheon. Celebrate their impact and be part of a tradition more than 70 years strong. Reservations available at WOASTL.org. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It is 57 degrees and beautiful. It's sunny here in St. Louis. We're going to have a high of 61. Game time tonight, about 59 degrees at the old ballpark. The weather is brought to you by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Enter now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Oh, baby. City SC won their game against the Chicago Fire this week in the U.S. Open Cup, and so they advance. And to discuss City SC, the latest with them, the return of Edward Leuven, who has gotten on the field, and it's been nice to see him. We got Jen Sees with us, broadcaster for Y98. You can hear City SC games on Y98, and she joins us now. Hello, Jen.
Hello there. I was listening to the highlight from Joey Zanaboni, and he said 90 minutes, and it was 90 plus 8. And I'll tell you what, there was a point in time when we were tied, and I was thinking of Amy Mark's scores, and I thought, you know what, this might be one of those scenarios where she gets that type, we go into extra time, because in this tournament, you would have had to go into extra time and then eventually PKs, and I was maybe cursing Amy a little bit. And then, Edward Leuven fixed it, so I'm happy.
Well, she's always complaining about I don't like the ties. Who cares? Who cares about ties? I don't get you that worked up. You know what I mean? Is it really that big of a deal?
Well, if it meant not going into an extra 20 minutes or so of play and PKs, but we had to have a tie, I would take it. But of course, for a tournament, that's not going to be possible. So it was awesome that they broke the tie, and fantastic I got to go home on time.
That's great. Let me ask you this question. Why wouldn't... Do soccer people who are really into it, so people like yourself who are great at the sport and, you've been in the thick of the game for your entire life, is it really that objectionable to finish games with penalty kicks, regular season?
Well, not if you win. If you're on the winning side of PKs, it usually feels okay. But, yeah, there is something that feels like when you go to and during the time, I think they might have changed now. You never called them PKs. You called them kicks from the mark, because a penalty kick is a penalty kick. It's because a foul happened.
Right.
So if you were going into kicks after a game, we called them kicks. They were called kicks from the mark. So, yeah, there is – I would prefer, the extra time, but that sometimes you do get two teams that just can't seem to finish the darn game in the run of play, and they get, pooped out. So you then go to kicks. So – I understand the concept that eventually the game needs to come to end, and if you absolutely need a winner and a loser, you're going to have to break that tie some way. But, yeah, I've seen teams that were the inferior team on the field, although, to be fair, they did manage to get to that tie, come out the winner, and it's really not the one who dominated the game.
Well, why not do it like hockey? I guess what I'm wondering is it like is it really a bad thing for the soccer folks if you finish a game, you do it like hockey where each team gets a point, and then if you win, you get the additional point, right? Would it be that big of a deal if they do it that way?
Maybe not. So you tell me that point again. You get a win for you get a point for the tie and then one for a win?
Yes. Yeah, in hockey. Now, but in soccer you get 3 points for a win.
Yeah.
So
in MLS.
Right.
In MLS.
So you could do it where if you had the kick from the mark, the winner gets 2 points and the loser gets 1 point for the original tie. Something like that could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is an interesting concept. It adds a layer of like, hey, neither of you could best each other on the field.
Yep.
So, but we're going to have to, we have to have some leverage of a winner, and maybe you only get 2. Maybe there's a reason to have a middle number between 1 and 3, but yeah, that's not the way they do it for sure. And
well, Commissioner Hancock.
I get it for Open Cup.
Commissioner Hancock will take care of that problem. Jen
There you
Cease
go.
is our guest, one of the voices of City. City, this is our 3rd season, correct?
We're on our 4th season.
Oh, our 4th season.
Yep.
How many original City players are still on this team?
Oh, like the regular OGs?
Yeah.
Oh,
a handful, probably.
God,
right?
a handful. It's really a handful. Yeah. I would have told you if you would have said from last year, 80% of the roster, but you're right. You can think of the very first ones, Indiana Vasilev. You can think of Akil Watts. You can think of more than others that have Tim Parker. He was our very first goal scorer for St. Louis City. Our center back, our redheaded center back scored the first goal on a corner kick. But yeah, like a lot of those are gone. So I would say, yeah, about a handful or maybe just over. And Edward Leuven's one of them, and I'm eternally grateful to him.
Yeah, let's talk about him because he's made his return, and slowly they're getting him back in and giving him minutes since the death of his wife, which was, just a horrible situation because she was so young, and he's been out rightfully, and so now he's trying to get back into game shape. Like, what has his presence meant to the team?
Well, when it just comes, it's kind of a two-parter. His presence as a player, right? He's somebody that the younger players look up to. I think even sometimes the players his own age look up to him as well. He's kind of got an old soul. So I think, his presence just as a player and how good he is and how composed he is. And it's very rare at training that I've ever seen Edward Leuven get upset unless there was really something to get upset about. But he's usually pretty calm, cool, and collected, works hard. So as a player, there's one thing. But then it's just a human being. Timo Baumgartel was our last player profile, and he just talked about he's really helps us more as a human being. We've seen what he's gone through. We've seen that you have to go on. And Timo Baumgartel battled cancer himself. So he said, he just makes us a better person. So, it's like a full circle thing for Edu. It's just great to see him there. And even if it's only with maybe half of his soul right now, it's awesome to see him a part of it and just be part of training. And every once in a while, we can see a little bit of a smile on his face, and that's great to see.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about just a human tragedy there. That's just horrible to even contemplate. What's your sense, Jen? You see this team every time they take the pitch. What's your sense of the, I guess the sense of community in the locker room with the new coach? How is this team? Are they coming together in a way that's positive?
Yeah, they are. They from talking to them, I don't know that I would ever get an answer to the contrary, but to talking to them, they seem to understand his plan, understand the kind of system he wants to run. You're not always successful on the day of doing it, but he seems to have developed some pretty good trust between him and the players. They talked about having their own personal conversations. I think when we talked to him back in November, when he had his first press conference, I think it was, he had talked about one of his first things to do is make sure he gets to know each player on an individual level. Every player is motivated a little bit differently. But yeah, they do seem to believe in what the system is, what he wants to do he wants to take City's attacking style from years 1 and 2 and make it a bit more sophisticated, which is harder to run. It's harder to do that. And to your point, the originals on the team, even the ones who you can talk about even coming in last year, weren't necessarily recruited to play this particular way he wants to play, but they do seem to be adapting. They do seem to be agreeing that when the results weren't there, we still tried to execute the plan, and we like the plan so far.
All right. We were just talking about this U.S. Open Cup, and I know that there are some people listening totally confused about what this is versus the CONCACAF, and then you've got the MLS. So what is this, and how excited should we be about it?
Yeah, it is. It's a hard thing with soccer because, in baseball, you don't have tournaments, right, going concurrently with the league. You don't have all these different competitions. You have Major League Baseball. You have NFL football. With soccer, you have whatever league that is in your country. That's our MLS. And then you have tons, because it's a worldwide sport, tons of different tournaments that are happening. And they might be like CONCACAF Champions Cup, which involves North America and South America. Or you have the U.S. Open Cup, which is the oldest tournament for soccer in the history of our country. It's been around since 1914. So it's just a long-running tournament where it's single elimination. You have to win 5 games in order to be crowned the champion, and it runs concurrently. And it takes a long time, too. I don't remember exactly when the first games were, but they won't wrap up and have a champion until, several months from now, even more. So it takes time because you also have to have, at the same time for your league. Now, there was a coach I saw on, I think it was a Twitter post that was talking about the fact that, hey, this is on the CONCACAF Champions Cup side. We would like a little bit more help from MLS in terms of trying to go deep into these tournaments while also trying to win the MLS Cup, trying to win your league. And in other countries, apparently, when you've got a team that's going for this major tournament, the league will defer a little bit, make that, be a little bit more flexible in scheduling to make sure that teams have time enough to recover between all these competitions. Because, guys, they're playing on, like, Saturday, then City plays on Wednesday, then they play on Sunday, then they play on Wednesday again. So it's really hard, and then they're flying everywhere. It's really hard for them to recover. So, yeah, Open Cup, longest-running cup, longest-running competition, and sometimes it was the only competition that some of these guys had when there wasn't an MLS around and the other pro leagues had folded.
So this U.S. Open Cup is not just MLS teams, right? So where do these other teams come from?
We come from any U.S. soccer affiliated team. So, for example, I teased Chris Ronti about it before. We could register, Chris, a team. We could get a bunch of guys or a bunch of gals. There's girl side of the Open Cup. We could register a team, and you can have an amateur team compete against the pros. And that's kind of like the big thing is to have how deep these lower teams go. And some of them, in the first round of MLS teams getting in there, 3 MLS teams were knocked out by USL teams, by lower league teams, and that's kind of the dream. So anybody that's U.S. soccer affiliated, you have to register your team appropriately, can enter the cup, and get as far as you can.
All right, so Austin coming up on Sunday. The City SC Club will be on the road. Austin stinks too, huh?
Yeah, Austin. So 4 p.m. pregame, 4:30 kickoff. That's a little bit different on Y98. But Austin has just found a little bit of form. They were like on a 7-game streak with no wins. We know what that feels like. They're a team trying a new identity. We know what that's like. And they do have some returning players from injury or other absences. We know what that's like. So for me, this feels a little bit like year one. City went to Austin for their very, very first game. Their first game wasn't at home at Energizer Park. It was out in Austin, and they had their first win. So the one thing we have over Austin right now is on the number of games on aggregate, they have not beat us as much. But for sure, there's somebody that's finding form, and City just seems to be finding a little bit too. So it's going to be like, who knows who they are and who can implement that best. And Austin has the advantage at home.
4 o'clock pregame, 4:30 is the kick. It'll be City SC in Austin. And you know what? The Cardinals game will be wrapping up right about that time. You just flip right over to Y98 and listen to the action. Jen Cease, thank you again. We'll talk Friday.
Thanks, guys. All right, see ya.
That is Jen Cease, broadcaster for City SC on Y98. And yes, 4 o'clock pregame. Yeah, the Cardinals play at 1:10. It'll be the finale against the Dodgers.
Yep.
Hopefully at that time, they'll be trying to wrap up a sweep.
Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't it be 7 in a row then? They just swept the Pirates, and now they've got the Dodgers in town tonight. 6:20 pregame. 7:15 is the first pitch. Oh, boy, cannot wait for Cardinals baseball tonight on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX and my official sportsbook as well. And I just want to brag for a second and say that I have been with FanDuel longer than the state of Missouri. I've been playing when I've been out of town for a long, long time, a lot of years. It's a blast, and it's because they're always bringing something, right? Whether it was March Madness a while ago or the beginning of baseball season, there's always something going on. And right now, FanDuel is serving up a happy hour every day during the playoffs. So we'll be talking about special drops that you don't want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and a whole lot more than that. And the best part, it's every single day. So whether you're betting the early game or gearing up for prime time, just make sure you open the FanDuel app and see what's there waiting for you on every given day. Head to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started. And FanDuel, of course, is an official partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Still beautiful out there. It's 57 degrees and sunny. We're going to have a high of 61. For first pitch tonight, should be around 59 at Busch Stadium. The weather brought to you by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
Sandberg Phoenix serves your business in litigation, intellectual property, and products liability. We're more than a law firm. We're committed to your success. Learn more at sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Well, John, I don't think you're going to like this.
Oh, boy.
Did you see the Department of Transportation here in the fine state of Missouri?
Yeah, MoDOT.
Yeah, MoDOT has revealed that they are going to close eastbound I-64.
I did see that.
in 2027 for a year.
Yep.
So it's going, not the entire stretch. It's going to be between
Van
Deventer and Compton.
Yep.
So Compton is where SLU, the Chaffetz Arena is.
Harris Stowe is right there.
Yeah. So eastbound, they're going to make improvements. Actually, what if they didn't make improvements? What if they just shut it down just for fun? No, they're going to, replace bridges. There are 12 bridges that have to be replaced, removed, or rehabbed.
Wow.
A year.
Yeah, well, I remember, I think it was 2005.
I think it was 2008. I know I was not here when it happened. Yeah, it was 2008. Between 2008 and 2009, a 5-mile stretch. Is that what you were going to say?
No, 2005, they did a whole bunch of stuff on Highway 40.
Yeah, no, this is it. That's
that
what
was
I'm
it?
Yeah, it was.
It was 08?
Yeah, 08 and 09.
Okay.
5 miles
it
of
was
I-64.
When Matt Blunt was governor.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
So what were this? I wasn't here when it happened. So what stretch of the highway was it?
It was all through. They redid the whole Clayton interchange there at 170, and then it was a pretty good chunk.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I do. Okay, I do remember that. Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't here when it happened, but I do recall hearing about it.
Yep.
Oh, that's gonna be a nightmare for all y'all. Oh wait, me too. Damn it, I live here.
Yeah, especially coming downtown. Once a week as I do, or
And
more.
You know what? Now I have an excuse to not go west anymore.
There you go.
I don't have to go past SLU anymore. How about that? And you say, well, westbound isn't a problem. It's only eastbound. True, but I got to come back, don't I?
You do.
Yeah.
You absolutely do.
Well, that's not going to be a whole lot of fun. John, did you see that? Do you know about Arch Apparel?
Tell me.
Arch Apparel was a local apparel company. They made a bunch of clothing with STL theme.
Yeah.
They had you've probably seen the shirts with the circle that reads STL in the middle.
Yeah.
They've been around about 8-9 years
Yeah.
or something like that. Well, officially they closed their online store yesterday.
You hate to see that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Not good at all.
No, I was hoping for a little bit better from them.
Did you
but,
see
yeah.
that folks in their late 60s and 70s are applying for jobs all over the place?
Wait, no, is this a real story?
Yes. Peach sent it to us over here.
So what about it? Tell me more.
More people are working later in addition to supplementing their Social Security, and it seems to be a trend. I've long said that my retirement party is going to be at Pope Chapel. And, people are working and not retiring.
Oh, see, that's not... I have always kind of felt like I'm just going to work until I die.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Not that I want to. I do think I'm going to get to a point where I'm like, all right, that's enough of all this. I don't think I want to do it anymore.
Yeah,
but
could happen.
Yeah.
I hope we have it on the live stream, so.
When I die?
Yeah. On the StreamYard. So I want to capture the moment. I think the numbers would do phenomenal.
Oh, a death?
Yours.
Yes. Yeah. I think any death would be... People love to watch stuff like that.
Yeah.
Car wrecks.
They love it. You can watch the show on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Find at Chris Amy KMOX
How come
on
we're
Twitter.
not on the Twitch?
That's a good question. I think we're capable.
We should be on the
We
Twitch.
should be on Twitch. I
think
agree with you.
Twitch is like more for video games.
No, I know other Odyssey stations that are on Twitch.
See there?
Okay. We should be on
We got to
Twitch.
get on. Put that down on the to-do list there, PJ.
It's on there now.
Twitch.
All right, Twitch.
Did
never seen Twitch?
Did you see that Ted Lasso has put out their trailer for season 4?
Wow.
Did you watch Ted Lasso?
I know of it, but I've not seen it.
Very, very popular, and I have to tell you, I loved the show. I thought I gave it a chance a few years ago. I knew of the character. I had seen the Jason Sudeikis. I think it was an NBC thing they did, and it was okay. So I thought, this is probably a stupid show, and I've heard people talking about it. So, you know what? I'll give it a try. And I have to tell you, I loved it. I loved it.
There you go.
It was one of those shows that you could... It maybe the only show I've ever watched where I felt good after it was over every time.
Huh.
Just an amazing show. I loved it. We're going to talk to Scott Jagow, former KMOX reporter. He's big on the horsies.
Yeah, he is.
He knows the horsies.
Yes, he does.
And you know what's coming up? The Kentucky Derby. So we'll talk to old friend Scott Jagow when we come back on KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis, at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 11 o'clock. We've got sunshine, 55 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Webster University is known as the winningest college chess team in the nation, and now it is gone. Susan Polgar, who started Webster on its blockbuster run, says Webster abruptly terminated its chess program yesterday, just months after winning the Pan American Intercollegiate Chess Championship for the 10th time. She says that would be like UConn ending its basketball dynasty. Webster's chess teams ranked first in the nation for 14 consecutive years. The university has not issued a statement about the decision. As the face-off continues between the U.S. and Iran, the Islamic State has issued a new proposal for ending the conflict related to the Trump administration, trying to get Iran's pledge for never trying to build a nuclear weapon. The proposal comes on the day that the War Powers Act may or may not require a halt to the conflict or congressional approval to continue it. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand.
Well, GOP lawmakers over on Capitol Hill have largely remained supportive of the administration's military operation in Iran. Some have publicly acknowledged that these high prices are becoming a political issue. You know, the midterms just months away now. And we know from hearing from drivers and voters out there, this is on their minds.
In Indiana, the price per gallon is up more than $1 in just 1 week.
At $5 a gallon, I about wilted like an old flower.
It's bad.
That was CBS Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes reporting from the KMOX business desk. The Mother Road turns 100 this year. AAA reports 41% of American adults plan to drive some part of Route 66 this year, and the majority will drive their own car.
Even if you're not planning to travel the whole length of the route from Chicago to Santa Monica, which is just over 2,000 miles, there's plenty of great day trips right from the St. Louis area.
AAA's Nick Chabaria says there will be celebrations this weekend at the Arch, the Merrimack Caverns, and in Springfield, Missouri, where the historic car parade will take place. There's also a weekend festival going on at the Missouri History Museum as well. Looking for a book this weekend? The largest Midwest charity book fair is back at Queenie Park. The Greater St. Louis Book Fair started yesterday and runs through Sunday. Admission is free, and if you're looking for a deal, books on Sunday will be half off. The weather is sponsored by Missouri History Museum's Route 66 Centennial Festival, April 30th through May 3rd.
This afternoon will be quite cool despite more sun than clouds, high 61. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, chilly, a shower in parts of the area, the low 44. Another cool day tomorrow with clouds and sun, a slight chance of a shower, high 60. More sunshine, breezy, and much warmer Sunday, high 78. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Sunny and 55 degrees right now. Don't miss the Route 66 Festival at the Missouri History Museum through May 3rd. Music from Sweetie and the Toothaches, a classic car show, neon display, kids crafts, and more. Schedule at mohistory.org/festival. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
No, it's the fastest 2 minutes in sports. At least that's what they keep telling me. And it's happening this weekend. The Kentucky Derby is going to be hot, baby. And the horsies are going to run. And we are now joined by one of our favorite people. He formerly of KMOX.
Missed the guy.
Total Information weekends. You used to hear him on Sundays. We used to talk to him on Fridays every day on this show. And he has moved on to Saratoga or wherever he is. It's not Buffalo. Scott Jagow joins the show. What's up, Scott?
Hey, guys. Good to be on. I appreciate it.
Oh, we're delighted to have you.
I'm excited. It's one day away. I spent so much time analyzing this race. It's kind of insane.
Is this your favorite of the races, or just any of the Triple Crowns do it for you?
Well, as an event, I actually prefer the Breeders' Cup, which is 14 races over 2 days of the best horses in the world, and the betting for those races is phenomenal. But I mean, you can't. And I also love the Belmont Stakes. It's actually here in Saratoga this year.
Oh.
So I'm going to walk over there to the Belmont in about a month. But no, the Kentucky Derby is international fame. It's the one and only Derby. You don't get 20 horses in a field in America ever. So it's a good handicapping puzzle too. See if you can pick the winner.
Got a lot of horses this year in the Derby. Who are some of the
two of them, right?
Who are some of the big ones?
So the favorite is a horse called Renegade, and he drew the rail, the first post, which is historically a terrible place to be. No horse out of the one hole has won since 1986.
Wow.
So, however, something changed about 5 years ago. So they used to have two starting gates. And the gates were like almost they met in the middle about the 14th post, and horses who were coming out of the one were actually facing right into the rail. So it was even worse. But now they have one gate, and so there's not that break in the middle. It makes a huge difference. So I don't think he's that handicapped by the one position, but it is hard to come out of there, and he's not a speed horse. He's going to come from behind, so he's going to have to pass a lot of horses. Also, one of my favorites right now is Commandment. That's the number 6 horse. He won the Florida Derby. He's won 4 races in a row. He's a tough son of a gun. He will go between two horses. He will go inside. He'll go outside. I really like the way he's coming into this race. And right now he's 7-1. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. And there are some other horses as well. I do have one complete long shot that I like that no one is talking about. His name is Pavlovian.
Oh, I was going to say Pavlovian. He's this 16 horse, right?
He is 16, yeah. He's 52 to 1 right now.
Whoa.
And I don't think he's going to get bet down. No one's talking about him. He's run 9 races, which is a lot heading into the Derby these days. So he's seasoned. He ran his eyeballs out last time and barely lost to one of the wise guy horses in here called Emerging Market, which is right next to him in the 15. He's in the 15 post. So if you like Emerging Market, and a lot of people do, Emerging Market's only run 2 races. And he's got a lot of room to grow, and a lot of people like him. But he barely beat Pavlovian last time, so I have to include Pavlovian at 52 to 1 in my ticket.
Wouldn't that be something? And unique, this horse, because he trains with a dog, and Pavlovian's dog.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. You said ran his eyeballs out. Is that like a racing term?
Yeah, it's kind of a racing term where he's just going all out, and he set the fractions for the race, meaning he was in front, taking all the wind. He was, he was the one that was setting a pretty fast pace. Emerging Market sat back and came and got him at the end, but Pavlovian was there the whole time, which shows a lot of guts. That's what I mean by run his eyeballs out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and also you said wise guys owned, but horses owned by the wise guys. Who are the wise guys?
The wise guys are people who choose I'm talking about bettors.
Oh.
They fall in love with a horse, and it becomes what we call, there's usually just one of them in every Derby, the wise guy horse, which is a horse that isn't going to win, but is going to get overbet. To me, Emerging Market is that horse this year. I will say that his jockey, Flavien Prat, is one of the best in the world, and he has run in the Derby 8 times, and incredibly, he has hit the Superfecta, the top 4, 7 out of 8 times.
Wow.
So I can't ignore that. But I do think he's kind of like I said, the wise guy horse. People are betting into him, thinking he's going to jump up here in this race, and it's only his 3rd start. And no horse has won after only 2 starts, the Kentucky Derby, since 1886.
Oh, I remember that.
1883. Yeah, John, you probably remember.
Yeah. So
1886.
You're looking at who was president in 1886? It would have been Chester Arthur. I don't know.
Very good. It was Chester Arthur.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
So you're looking at this field. You're a student of the sport. You've been following the sport,
guys,
your entire life.
Hold on.
Yes.
It was Grover Cleveland.
Okay. In 86?
Oh, okay, but I was wrong. No, I was wrong on the date. It was 1883, not 86.
Okay,
right.
And that would have been Chester.
Sorry, I couldn't let that go.
No, I had the date wrong. It's 83. So
right.
It was Chester Arthur.
Yeah, 83. That was a big year.
It's a good year.
Can you think of is there a particular Derby that, since you've been following it, that stands out to you as, wow, that was amazing?
Well, one of my favorite Derbies was the 2011 Derby, and it was really because I picked the trifecta.
Oh.
And that's hard to do.
Yeah.
But I picked it before the race publicly. So we had this forum online, and I picked a trifecta that ended up paying 2,000 to 1.
Whoa.
Because the winner was 20 to 1, Animal Kingdom, and the 2 other horses were kind of like medium prices. I remember their names, Nero and Mucho Macho Man. I remember it well because it's hard to do that, especially if you do it in public before the race. And I was scoffed at the time. So anyway, but what I remember about that Derby is that in October of the previous year, I had a guy, I was just getting into the business, and I had a guy who said, in October of the previous year, he told me, that horse, we were watching the horses work out in the morning. He goes, that horse right there, Animal Kingdom, is going to win the Derby next year. And I was like, you're insane. It's October. But he was right. And I never forgot that comment. That's why I bet him.
Can you reuse a name of a horse from history?
Sure, there are horses that have some of the same names, yeah, over time. I'm not sure exactly what the rules are. I know that they can only be 18 letters, so that's one rule, and you can't do anything profane. People have slipped in some innuendos, some like sexual or whatever innuendos that the people at the jockey club didn't catch. But speaking of names, I mean, in terms of the Derby, I find it hard, some of the names fitting being a Derby winner, you know? Most of the time, it's a fitting name. Even a couple years ago, there was an 80-1 long shot who won the race, but he had a Derby name, Rich Strike. I mean, that's a Derby name. You know, this year there's a horse called the Puma. I just can't see a horse called the Puma winning the Derby. Although now that I said that, he probably will, and he definitely has a chance.
Although
he's 8-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So the race that he comes out of, there's 3 horses, and they basically finished across the wire together. Commandment won. He's the one I mentioned earlier. The Puma was right there, and then the third horse, who also has a very good chance, and I may end up betting him. His name is Chief Wallaby.
Oh
boy.
He's the number 12, and his trainer, Bill Mott, won the race last year with Sovereignty, and he's coming into this race with this horse who looks like he's ready to have a big race, but he's getting the equipment changed, and that's always a little dicey in the Derby to change equipment. So they're putting blinkers on him because he's kind of been wandering around in the stretch a little bit, his head, lifting up, which is not good. So the blinkers are supposed to focus him on his task in front of him and not be looking around. But to do it for the first time, that is awfully tough to ask for a horse.
Here's what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to buy a horse. I want you to be in charge of the horse, but I'm going to name it, and I'm going to. I think I'm going to name it like something similar to an old horse. Since I can't go with Sea Biscuit, I'll go with how about Sea Cracker?
Sea Cracker. That's what I was thinking.
It's about a pirate from Mississippi. Well, this is what we'll do. Sea Cracker. And then you're going to make sure that you train him to win.
All right, I've got a trivia question for our friend Scott Jagow.
Actually, can I name a horse Secretariat? Would anybody be mad about that?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm pretty sure they've. Yeah,
that would
I'm pretty sure they put that one. They put that one on the. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one is off limits.
Okay.
All right. Here's my trivia question. You're going to get this. Rons, you might even get this.
Probably not.
Can you think of a Kentucky Derby winner whose name was misspelled?
Misspelled?
Yes.
Yes, I do. I know the answer.
Go ahead.
It intentional?
No. Oh, I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, I know the story behind it too.
Go, tell it.
Okay, so not only did this horse win the Kentucky Derby, he won the Triple Crown.
That's correct.
For the first time in 37 years in 2015, and I was there at Belmont that day, and it was incredible, an incredible moment after 37 years. And his name was American Pharoah.
Yeah.
But when they submitted his name to the Jockey Club, they misspelled Pharoah.
Yes.
And they didn't change it. They just decided, okay, we're just going to go with it. So that's why it was misspelled.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Well done. I knew you would get that. It's one of the few fun facts I know about horse racing.
I don't recall. I remember American Pharoah. I don't recall the part about it being misspelled.
Yeah, because Pharoah ends A-O-H, and this horse ended O-A-H.
Interesting.
Exactly.
So, Scott, what do you do during the Derby? What's your Kentucky Derby plan?
Well, this year, obviously having moved to Saratoga Springs, New York, I have a new plan. I am going to go to the Racing Hall of Fame and Museum, which is here in town. Yeah. And they are having a Derby watch party, and I'm going to be there. And I'm going to be all dressed up and do the whole thing. Yeah.
Submit your photos. We want to see them.
Okay. I got a new hat.
Oh, new hat.
Oh.
Well,
new hat.
That's good. You've got a new place, too, right? How's the new place working out for you there?
It's great. It's great. I love it. And I can walk to the racetrack. I can walk to the Hall of Fame. I can walk everywhere. It's really nice to be in a spot like that. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I got a new white hat that my special lady friend found for me. And so I'm ready to go.
Oh, well, buddy, we are glad that you are in your element.
And happy.
You know, we miss you around here,
Yeah,
but,
we do.
you know, it's nice that you're getting to do what you want to do.
I appreciate it. There is a horse in the race called So Happy.
There
if you're
is.
into that kind of thing.
It's the 8 horse.
Yep, and he's getting bet too. He's getting bet. So his sire,
6-1,
Run Happy. His sire, Run Happy, was owned by a man named Mattress Mac.
I
don't
know
if you
who that is.
is.
Oh, that's the guy.
sure.
He's the Dallas. Is it the Cowboys?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that him?
He's
Oh.
a Texas. Yeah, he has that
Way too much
mattress store,
attention.
furniture store.
Yeah.
And he always bets like a couple $1 million on the Derby.
Right.
So I don't think he's bet yet though, because he usually waits till the last minute. But it wouldn't surprise me if that's one of the reasons why that number has gone down for So Happy. But I mean, he's being ridden by Mike Smith, who's 59 years old. 59.
Kid.
In the Derby.
Just a kid.
Mattress
He's
Mac.
Had
Yeah.
a fundraiser for Mitt Romney.
Oh, did he?
He did.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like him. But yeah, Mike Smith hasn't ridden in the Derby in like 3 years, but he's come back here with this horse, and you can't count out Mike Smith. He's won every race imaginable, and he's almost 60 years old and still doing it. Amazing.
Well, Scott Jagow, thank you again. It's good to talk to you. We'll find an excuse to hook up with you again soon, okay?
All right, sounds good, guys. Good to talk to you.
Enjoy.
Scott
I will.
Jagow, our guy, formerly from Total Information AM Weekends, and we had him on the show every Friday and always enjoyed those segments, and so did you. People love listening to Scott.
The best.
Yeah, he is the best. Got John Hancock for a little bit longer, and we're going to play a game when we come back.
Hey.
It's called Rapper or Racehorse.
Count me in.
Next on KMOX.
Don't miss a baseball showdown at Busch Stadium when Shohei Ohtani and the LA Dodgers roll into the Lou May 1st through the 3rd. Kick off the weekend with Friday Night Live and a must-have short sleeve hoodie giveaway. Saturday brings a Mason Wynn bobblehead celebrating his Gold Glove Award. Then Sunday features a sleek blade collar shirt giveaway. Big names, big matchups, and big giveaways all weekend long. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotion.
This is Mason Wynn. Get your tickets at cardinals.com.
The 1-2, and that's grounded up the middle. Diving play, Mason Wynn to his feet. He throws, he got him.
What's up, Cardinals fans? Mason Wynn here. On Saturday, May 2nd, when we face the Dodgers, you can take home the Mason Wynn Gold Glove bobblehead presented by the Shane Company. It's got my chain, my first gold glove, my whole look, just how I rock it. Plus, a few rare all-gold baubles will be randomly mixed in for 500 lucky fans. This is one you won't want to miss. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotion.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is.
Just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings, up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
The pressure on data centers has never been greater.
Whether you're expanding capacity, supporting AI workloads, or building new facilities, Graybar works alongside you with the solutions, specialists, and logistics expertise you need today. We help you power performance every step of the way, so your operation is ready now. Yep, Graybar does that.
Summer is on the way, or should I say the heat in St. Louis, it's on its way. Be here before we even know it. If you haven't had your air conditioners checked and set up and ready to go for this cooling season, or if you were told you might need a new one, or you just think this is the time of the year, this year is the time to just go ahead and replace it. Prices are down, 0% financing is available. It's still the best time to call me. Don't put it off. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It is 314-293-2600. Again, that's 314-293-2600 in Missouri and Illinois, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Summer's here. Is your backyard ready? If you missed the spring rush, Artistic Decks can still make it happen. From premium wood to maintenance-free composite, get the quality you deserve. Don't wait. Call Artistic Decks today at 314-280-0821.
100 years of service and still at your service. KMOX.
Regular? That's a baby.
I remember that one. Stooges. We've got our guy, Matt Pajeski, producer of the Chris and Amy Show, and he's got a game for us. John Hancock and Chris Ranji. Today, Amy Marks Kors is out. What do you got for us, Matt?
Got a little game for you called Rapper or Racehorse.
All right.
I'm going to give you a name.
Where did you come up with this?
Huh?
Where'd you come up? How'd you come up with this?
That's confidential information.
Okay.
My mind is an enigma.
Yeah.
So, as it sounds, I'm going to give you a name.
Yep.
You're going to tell me if it's a rapper or a racehorse.
All right.
You think it sounds easy, but it's not.
Is it a racehorse from any point in time in history?
A thoroughbred racehorse.
A thoroughbred.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Could it be both?
It's a good question.
Yes.
None of these are both.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sure there are probably examples of both in the past, but not today.
All right.
All right, John, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Justify.
Justify. You could think that, that's a singer out there, but Justify is a thoroughbred.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Ron, do you mind keeping track of points for me? I'm going to get my hands full.
I'm on it over here. I got
All right, John. I trust you guys to keep track of your own points.
JH.
Okay. All right. All right, go ahead.
One for J.
Ron's, you're next with 20 grand. Is that a rapper or a racehorse?
That's a rapper, isn't it? Oh, jeez.
That is a racehorse.
Hate to see it.
Oh, okay.
For those of you keeping score at home, it's it's 1-0.
Yeah, it is 1-0.
Go ahead, Pete.
All right, John, you're next.
Yeah.
Rapper or racehorse? Uncle Murda.
Uncle Murda is, as we all know, a very noteworthy rapper.
Wait, I'm sorry. I played the wrong one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Damn.
That's a rapper. Yep. Uncle Murda's a rapper.
Thank
Good job.
you.
I knew John was going to know his rappers.
Yep.
Ron's Big Brown.
That's a rapper. It's not a rapper.
Boy, hate to see it.
I don't know.
We're at 2-Love at this point. Go ahead, Pete.
John Hancock. Chingy.
Chingy is definitely a rapper.
How in the hell? Did you give him the answers?
No.
Okay.
I've heard it, Chingy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of the St. Lunatics.
That's right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Ron's, you're next with French Montana.
It's got to be a horse.
Boy.
French Montana's a rapper.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it a current rapper?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, damn.
We are cruising
I'm losing
altitude of
badly.
3-0.
Wow. Who knew John knew his rapper so well?
It's amazing.
John, you're next with Lil E.T.
Oh, that's a rapper. No.
Lil E.T. Oh, we're stuck. Lil E.T. is a horse.
Oh. It's a horse, huh?
He's a horse,
Okay.
all right. Got a few more for you. Slick Rick, Ron's.
Oh, that's a rapper.
Rapper
sure.
racehorse.
Yeah,
Okay, you
that's-
got it.
that's a classic.
Ron's on the board now. 3-1.
Finally.
All right.
John Hancock, is Megan Thee Stallion a rapper or a racehorse?
You would think with the stallion it would be a horse, but it's not. That is a rapper. Thank you.
Yes,
like he
she
actually
is.
knew that.
I know.
That's amazing.
Hey, how
Okay.
good of a name is that, though, for this game?
Yeah.
You get both.
It's a little too
rapper.
on the nose for a horse.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, you know.
There's no horse name that has the horse in it, you know.
Right.
In its name.
Right.
Secretariat the horse.
Although J.J. Weatherholt's cat's name is Cat.
That's true. Ranj.
That's right.
Tell me if charismatic is a horse or a rapper.
That was a horse, right?
Yeah. Knew
Good job,
that.
good job, good job.
Yeah.
4-2.
Okay, he's coming back.
It was a pretty recent horse, I feel like.
John Hancock,
Yeah.
Ben Brush. Horse or
Ben Brush is a horse.
that he is.
All right.
What the hell? I was like, my comeback's not going to happen here. John's running the table.
Ranj, can you tell me if Roddy Rich is a rapper or a racehorse?
That has to be a rapper.
Oh,
He's not a
gosh, I'm
rapper.
sorry. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, it was. Okay.
I'm getting confused with my sounds here.
Yeah.
Roddy Rich is indeed a rapper.
Very good. I'm killing it.
All right, we got time for one more for both of you guys.
Oh,
Is
very
it 4-3 right now?
It is 5-3.
Oh, it's 5-3. Damn it. All right.
John Hancock, tell me if Gucci Mane is a rapper or a racehorse.
Gucci Mane is a rapper.
That's an easy one.
Oh, I don't know if there's any easy rap names for John.
Gucci Mane is, well, for John, yes, no. That's an easy one, though.
Yeah, maybe. Ranj, tell me if Nyquist is a rapper or racehorse.
That's a horse.
Hey.
You guys
All
do
right.
well.
All right, 6-4.
Who would have thought
6-4.
John Hancock would win?
Well, I would have.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen every now and then. Well, we'd like to send him on his way with a victory. I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Haven't won anything in a long time, fellas.
Well, John, you've won our hearts. How about that? Hey, we appreciate you, buddy.
You got old Chef, what's his name coming in?
That's right. Gerard Kraft is going to join the show because coming up, Hands for Mental Health Luncheon is being hosted by Niche Food Group, and a bunch of well-known chefs from the area are going to be in attendance for it or part of it, and we'll have Gerard Kraft coming in just a moment to tell us all about it in just a moment here. John Hancock, thank you, buddy.
I'm off.
It's good to see you. Go
pleasure.
do your thing. Go talk to Michael Kelly again.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Every day starts the same way, and then it goes wherever it wants.
Life doesn't stop for Cardinals baseball. It just kind of runs alongside it. Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. We're talking real life, real stuff, and yes, a lot of Cardinals along the way because that's how fans actually live it. It's just like happy hour, man. We get together every day from 1 to 5. We have fun, we laugh, we commiserate, we complain. DGS 1 to 5.
The Dave Glover Show at 1, and then Cardinals baseball. KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Beautiful day in St. Louis. It is 59 degrees and sunny. We'll have a high of 61. Tonight for the ball game, if you are heading out that direction, this will be about the game time temperature, 59 degrees. We'll have a low overnight of 44.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Penalties and interest are piling up every single day. Wage garnishments and bank levies could hit any moment. If you've been avoiding it out of fear, you're not alone. But waiting only shrinks your options and ramps up the stress. The truth is, the IRS settles with taxpayers every day through legitimate programs, and many qualify to reduce what they owe, in some cases by up to 99%. That's why thousands turn to helpwithirsdebt.com. They've guided over 120,000 Americans, resolved more than $2.3 billion in tax debt, and back every case with their ironclad resolution guarantee. If there's no real path forward, you get a full refund, no fine print, They even randomly select one qualifying client each year and pay off their entire IRS balance. Terms apply. Don't let another day pass. Go to helpwithirsdebt.com right now. It's fast, easy, and confidential. Find out what's possible today. Helpwithirsdebt.com. Once again, that's helpwithirsdebt.com.
Experience an evening of love, beauty, and lush soundscapes as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra performs Ravel's Daphnis and Chloe. 3 extraordinary pieces come to life, from Ravel's masterpiece to the world premiere of Nathalie Joachim's Family to Kevin Putz's evocative Virelai. Nearly 300 musicians, May 8th through 10th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. It's a great time to buy a brand new McKelvey home, and we have a great deal for you. Special closeout savings at Summerlin in Inverness and St. Charles on move-in ready market homes with savings of up to $124,000 with 4.75% financing. Select from ranch, 1.5 or 2-story McKelvey homes. Hurry before it's too late. Visit McKelveyhomes.com. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey?
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, let's talk about refinancings, and let's just bottom line this. Everyone needs money at some point in their life.
You know what, Dave? There's so many different ways you can make money. Number one, go to a lower rate. If you're financed over the last 3 years, chances are you're paying a higher rate than what you can today. Refinance with the Bagel loan, no closing costs at all. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people are concerned not about the cash flow, but overall interest that you're paying. Go from a 30-year to a 20-year. The rates are lower on a 20-year versus a 30-year. Save hundreds of thousands of dollars. And third is the real easy way. You need cash. I need cash. Take cash out. Refinance now. Take the money you need. Keep the payment the same. It's easy. It's simple. All with no closing costs with that Bagel loan.
If you're looking to save money, get a little cash to your pocket, and do it with the right person, give Stewie a call or a text on his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS 226715.
Today, the Cards, the Dodgers.
Ameren Total Access 620. First pitch 7:15.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Chris and Amy show. Amy Marks Kors is out today, and coming up on May 4th is a really cool event that is happening. It's called Hands for Mental Health. It is a luncheon, and there are going to be some really popular chefs who are in attendance for this, and it's going to happen at Pastaria. And the owner of Pastaria in Clayton is with us, and this is his event. It is Gerard Kraft, the owner of Niche Food Group. And, you know, Niche, it's got Bowood and Brasserie and some of the really great restaurants here in St. Louis, Fordo's being one of them as well. Gerard, it's good to see you. How are you?
It's good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we love having you in here. So, tell us about the event. It's going to happen on May 4th.
Yep.
And why you decided to do it, obviously.
Yeah, sure. So, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, we wanted to kind of do our part, and especially in our industry that has historically struggled with mental health. You know, we have a lot of young, creative people in our industry, and I feel like with creative people, a lot of times comes some mental health challenges, especially for me personally. So it's near and dear to my heart, but yeah.
Does the nature of the business lend itself to that a little bit? Because there are, especially on certain nights or certain times of any given night, there is a lot of pressure that happens.
There's
as you know, when you get
pressure.
slammed. So that has to factor in.
Yeah. So I think the industry has made, a huge amount of changes. There's a lot less, bad behavior going on, screaming, throwing of pots or anything like that you heard stories about in old French kitchens. But I think the pressure that you're talking about is never going to change, right? You're going to have a busy restaurant, and you're going to have to feed people within a certain amount of time. And, that's hard. That's just always going to be a hard job. But I think what we want to bring a little bit of awareness to is that there are ways, to deal with that mental health. There are things that all of these chefs that are in attendance, we have, Lauren Nalich from Balkan Treat Box, Nick Bognar from Indo and Sato, Kevin Nashin from, Peacemaker in Sydney, Brian Schumann from Press. And all of these people have faced different challenges in their career and found, ways to deal with them and, in some ways overcome them, but some ways to treat them on a regular basis, whether that's through therapy or exercise or things like that. So
it's interesting that you say that when we talk about how a restaurant can get slammed. And when it does, there's nothing you could do about it because you have to serve the customers quickly, and it can't be bad. Like you can't. I would feel like the pressure of knowing a dish can come out or a meal can go out, and it can never be bad because if it is, then that person's going to remember it and they're never coming back, and they'll just say, "Well, that place sucks," and they'll tell all their friends that place sucks. Because you don't get a do-over usually.
Yeah,
for having
now
a bad
they'll,
night.
go to Reddit and be like, Gerard's a jerk and, not worth it, overhyped, loser, and all these chefs, now deal with that. They're on social media all the time and they're facing this criticism in real time every single day.
So how do you is that just a tip, like try to stay offline? Because you almost can't since it's a business. You almost have it's unavoidable,
to
right?
be on there these days. It's kind of like a prerequisite that you have an Instagram channel. And not everybody does, but it certainly, helps your business to be on there. And, so I think there are things that people do. And all these guys are going to talk about this stuff at this luncheon on Monday at Pastaria. But, for me, mountain biking. I moved out west to some mountain biking trails, and for me, that's part of my piece on top of regular therapy and medication. Like these are the ways that I've learned to cope with some of these stresses that life throws at me, and especially being an owner is a whole new level of stress.
So the Hands for Mental Health Luncheon, is it primarily for people in the industry? Are you expanding it beyond that for anybody who feels like they could use it?
Yeah, I think, the people that are speaking are in the industry, but mental health isn't, restaurants don't have a monopoly on mental health issues, right? There's pressure in everybody's lives these days. Just watching the news is enough to give people stress and anxiety and stuff. So I think this luncheon is not just for restaurant people. Anybody can attend, and I think anybody can benefit from hearing these people's stories.
So it happens at 11 a.m. at Pastaria in Clayton, and you have multiple chefs who are going to be there. So what will happen there if folks show up?
So you can get tickets at nichefoodgroup.com. Go to the blog for the press release. And there's going to be a lunch buffet. So, some of Pastaria's greatest hits will be out there. And then Shannon Weber, who, is an amazing St. Louis writer, is going to be moderating the event and kind of asking us all questions and taking everybody through a bit of a deep dive of the struggles of the restaurant industry.
We're talking with Gerard Kraft, the owner of Niche Food Group, with us here on KMOX. And you were talking earlier about how things have changed in the industry, that you don't have, people throwing pots and pans at one another. And we've heard a lot of and seen, I guess, some of the more famous stories, and everybody's watching The Bear. So they know what those kitchens are like. And, there was the one chef that gave him ulcers because he was so mean to him. Yeah. How prevalent really was that kind of behavior? Because from an outsider's perspective, it seems like it's everywhere. Yeah. So it's not quite like that, right?
Yeah, coming up in this industry, it was pretty cutthroat, right? And, it's the way I was trained as a young chef, through fear And
Why did they do it that way?
Huh? You know, it was very set up like a military, right? And so everything, including, you know, the structure of the kitchens, you know, chef is just chief, right? So, you know, it has always been set up like the military and run like the military. And only, you know, in the past 15 years or so has that really started to lighten up. You know, and I think that, you know, there's, when you look at how it was structured and why it was structured like that, I think in some people's mind that worked, right? You know, being scared of your chef made you work faster and made you do things differently. But what wasn't thought about was the human capital and the cost of running operations like that, right? The burnout rate, the stress and anxiety, you know. So I mean, even me as a young chef really had to learn how to do things differently. I mean, I probably had 3 nervous breakdowns, you know, through the early parts of my career in owning niche. And, you know, I had to learn how to operate different, how to take care of myself better, how to take care of my teams better, you know, how to nurture and mentor in different ways. And so, you know, it's a full course correction. Now, the stuff you see at like Noma coming out, I mean, that's just like bonkers. You know, I've never seen that in my career where people are getting punched in.
Yeah, there's lining them
like
up,
that.
wasn't he?
I mean,
and punching them for other people's mistakes.
I mean, you know, when I hear people compare that to the rest of the industry, I'm sure, you know, it happens in some places, especially in Europe, but I have never, even in Europe when I was working, never in my life seen anything like that. I mean, that's like nutty. I mean, that is just messed up. Yeah.
It's crazy messed up.
Crazy.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what goes into. I suppose if you're successful at what you're doing, you're probably seen as on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to cross you, and especially if you have younger people working for you, they don't want to upset you because they feel like that could kill their career, right? So it's almost like you're going to take that, but I don't know. I can understand why people do, because they're worried about.
Sure, yeah, and somebody of that caliber to, you know, blacklist you in a
right
industry is terrifying. I mean, yeah, I mean, honestly, that stuff is like literally criminal.
Yeah.
So, you know, when people are kind of comparing the industry to that, I mean, I don't want people comparing the industry as a whole to Noma. You know, I think you know, they just did horrible things and should be, you know, punished for that. But the industry as a whole has been tough, and I think is in, you know, 1,000 times better place than it was just 10 years ago.
It is a little different when you own a restaurant group, and I know the margins are very small. But when you have a successful group, it's a little easier, I think, maybe than just having one restaurant, and then if that doesn't work, then that's your whole world, right? But you have to start from that. You start from that point, and you build to what you have now. What do you think currently is the greatest challenge facing restaurants?
I mean, honestly, it's costs. You know,
is it getting worse?
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously, I mean, you know, you see it at the gas pump, right? The gas pump affects everything. So gas pump and tariffs are 2 huge things that have affected restaurant pricing.
Can you give like a real world example of what you're talking about, specific?
Yeah. So I mean, you know, gas prices, transportation costs, you know, are going to affect the price of your flour that you know, whether you're at the store or, you know, whether you own a pizza restaurant like and pasta restaurant like some of us do, and then the imports, right? We get some of our flour from Italy, and that has skyrocketed. You know, all the fun wines that we like from Italy and France skyrocketed because of tariffs. So, I mean, cost is a huge one, and then when those costs, you know, on top of that, when those costs hit our employees, right, they need more money. and so labor rates go up. And, then on top of that, the prices of our food go up to try to compensate for that. And I gave a very real scenario to somebody the other day. Our lowest price pizza on the menu when we opened Pastaria in 2012, that was a long time ago, but was $10.99. I think that lowest price pizza now is $18.99.
That's a huge jump.
It's a huge jump.
In 12 years.
And we made more money on the $10.99 pizza than we do on the $18.99 pizza because of how expensive everything is to operate these days.
It's wild. It's touching everything right now. And I anybody who's been to a restaurant, everything is more expensive.
Yeah, and it's going to keep going up, unfortunately. And for us, it's scary because we don't want to charge more money.
Right.
Like, that's that's just lowering our demand. So.
Well, I think this is going to be a really great event. It's happening on Monday, 11 a.m., Pastaria in Clayton. It is the Hands for Mental Health Luncheon. Gerard Kraft is hosting it. And, again, people, if they're interested in going, nichefoodgroup.com.
Yep.
Gerard, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Hey, good to see you.
It's always great.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, it's always great to talk to you about stuff.
And we brought you sandwiches.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And our viral chicken Caesar wrap.
What? Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
I knew I liked you.
Yeah.
It's Chris and Amy show on KMOX. Gas House Gang at 12.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jin.
We're starting a program here in the upper GI space called PREVENT. That's the acronym, and it's really aimed at trying to detect these cancers early and even to kind of, reverse them and understand kind of the science behind why they form.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.washu.edu.
On Saturday, May 16th, join KMOX and Grassroots Redeeming Love in commemorating 1 year since the historic EF3 tornado that devastated North St. Louis with a short morning of service. Volunteers will meet in the Kingsway East neighborhood from 9 to 11 to help clear tree limbs and trash. If interested in RSVPing for the cleanup or interested in donating to the effort, go to KMOX.com/events for more information.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo with Easy Cater, the best way to order great food from favorite restaurants for all your festivities. From April 27th through May 5th, every order placed earns you 1,000 bonus rewards points. From traditional favorites like enchiladas and mole to festive options like a build-your-own taco bar, even breakfast. Chilaquiles, anyone? Easy Cater makes food for Cinco de Mayo a cinch. Order now at EasyCater.com and get 1,000 bonus points on every order with promo code Cinco de Mayo 26. Restrictions apply. See offer details.
Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard-to-reach light bulbs, and more. Subscribe to Home Care Plus for just $99 a year and consider your to-do list done. Members get more at Lowe's. Available in select zip codes only. Cancel anytime. Non-refundable fee. Product purchase required. Terms and service restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about
about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I went to Staples for a custom printed graduation banner and invites and saw that Party City is now at Staples.
Wait, what?
Party City is now at Staples.
So now Staples has balloons,
Yep.
decorations,
Yes.
streamers, cups, table covers?
Yep, Staples has everything for a party. And now buy two, get one free on select foil balloons.
Holy confetti! So the best party started at Staples.
That was easy.
In 613 select stores, exclusions apply. In-store or buy online. Pick up in-store only.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe. Now, a look back at this week's Chris and Amy Show. Out of context.
It's big and gray, and it looks really old.
Bad eggs, bad chicken.
I mean, if the advertising campaign is you have to bring your mommy with you, nobody wants to go. That's you want to go with your mom, but not your mommy. The man's just trying to live. Just let the man live.
You need clothes.
You don't need them.
If you want to stay out of jail, you do, probably.
Boom. Wow. We love the week out of context. I feel like I haven't been here for one of these in years.
It's been a while.
So, oh, by the way, that chicken Caesar wrap from Pastaria, the deli,
really good.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, so let's do this thing, huh? Let's do this. Let's do this week out of context. I think I'm going to nail it.
You might even need to guess on behalf of Amy because she's got some clips too that she's not here to give context to.
All right.
I'm going to start with our first clip. Give some context to this.
It's big and gray, and it looks really old. Big and gray, and it looks really old. Was I talking about a ship?
No. And
a building?
Yes.
What kind of building was I talking about?
It's newsy. It was in the news.
Oh, man. Ballroom?
No.
It's not a ballroom.
All right. This is the Goodwill Outlet Center where the data center's going.
Oh, yes, where the data center's going. That's right. Right next to the armory. It's not the armory where the data center's going. It's the building next to it.
That's right. The one that you drive by because it's so nondescript. It's
correct.
Big and gray and old.
Correct.
Can you give some context to this clip from Amy?
Bad eggs, bad chicken.
She got the scoots?
Yes, but no. Not relating to this clip.
Okay. Why did she say that? I don't know.
She was worried about eating bad eggs, bad chicken in her fridge because her power had gone out during the storm.
That's right. Her power went out.
Yeah,
She's okay.
She threw out her rotisserie chicken.
I can't believe she threw that out.
I think it was frozen too.
It would have been fine.
That's crazy.
Totally fine.
She lost $5.
Crazy.
Chicken. All right, this next one is for you. Give some context.
I mean, if the advertising campaign is you have to bring your mommy with you, nobody wants to go. That's you want to go with your mom, but not your mommy. Six Flags.
Yeah.
Because we had a texter who said, you know how you can stop all of these kids showing up and fighting without, parents or whatever with them. Say you have to go with your mommy to Six Flags, and they will not want to go.
Yeah.
Which I think there's a lot of truth to it.
And Six Flags did roll out that policy.
They did. It's chaperone policy starting Saturday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. So you ruined it for everybody. Great job.
Thanks.
Idiots.
Last one for you. Amy said this, but I need you to give some context to it.
The man's just trying to live. Just let the man live.
You need clothes.
You don't need them.
If you want to stay out of jail, you do, probably.
That's really both of you guys.
There was a man walking into... was he in a mall or something?
You're close. And he wasn't just walking. There was a naked man dancing in the vestibule of Aldi.
That's right. And then somebody said, well, why would he just stand there in the front? And I said, for maximum exposure, because everybody has to go through that door.
Yeah.
That's why you do it. Yeah, I love it. Well, that was the week of Out of Context. I love that game. And it also signifies that the week is over for this show. But we're going to come back on Monday at 9. Listen, you need to get the Odyssey app, because if you download the Odyssey app, you can listen to the show live. You can go back and get the podcast of everything, any of the interviews that we've done, segments, full show, all there for you. KMOX.com, wherever you get your podcast. But we will return 9 a.m. on Monday. Coming up next, though, it is the Gas House Gang. Cardinals swept a series against Pittsburgh. The Dodgers are in town tonight. We'll talk to Katie Wu with The Athletic. She's at 12:30, but Matt Pauley and I will be with you in just a few moments on KMOX.